It's that time of the year. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us. The game's going to kick off literally at 7:40. I think is when it's going to kick off. 7:40. Yeah. So we have a lot to discuss. Let's just say that we have to a ton to discuss in a few minutes. But um, yeah, it's been kind of a slow day today for me. Got up and helped a family friend move, and now here we are. So just changing something right here for tomorrow. There we go. It's game time. This is going to be a good game. And why it's going to be a good game is because the line for this game keeps coming down. Slowly's come down in Miami's favor, but Ohio State's still favored by 7.5. Ohio State's the better team. These fan bases have been saying some pretty interesting things, pretty ridiculous things. So I'm imagining that on Twitter you're going to see a lot of Miami and Ohio State fans rage out during the game because it's not going the way that they want it to go. Our prediction here on College Football with Sam is that Ohio State will win and Ohio State will cover. Mostly for the reason that I have a hard time seeing Miami score more than 10, and I can see Ohio State get to 20 or at least the low 20s. There's a path for Miami to win, just like there's a path for Ohio State to win by 3 or 4 scores, just given all the possible outcomes. But I think that you are going to see a defensive battle. Neither team will run the football for better than 3 yards per carry. I think that Miami is probably going to be more comfortable visibly during the game, but because Ohio State's better coached and Ohio State has better players and they're just the better team overall, they're going to come out with a win, and at some point Miami is no longer going to be comfortable because they'll be down and they'll have to press because the game is timed, and they're going to make a mistake. I think Ohio State will make mistakes too, but Miami needs to not make mistakes and force Ohio State to make mistakes in order to have a shot to win, in my mind. So eventually Miami will make mistakes, and Ohio State will capitalize them and win by double digits, is kind of my prediction for this game. If I'm wrong, I'm not even going to be super angry about it. I mean, I like to be right. So there's always the part of me that would be like, oh, bummer. But if I get this one wrong, I imagine that there would be plenty of other people who would get this one wrong too. I mean, kind of the general consensus here is that Ohio State's going to win and Miami's going to cover. That's kind of the very common prediction, very common public prediction is that Ohio State will win, but Miami will cover. And then you have some outliers like Ohio State's going to win and cover, or Miami's going to win outright. So how y'all doing? Hopefully we can push 100,000 total views on this stream. Hold on just a second, guys. Just wanted to reposition my chair. That feels way better. Way, way better. So I got all the metrics pulled up in front of me. I got the depth charts. Probably during the game, I am going to write down takeaways because I will have to tape my instant reaction right after this game is over. I'm hoping it's competitive. I hope it does come down to the wire. That would be pretty incredible. I do think every style of game in every type of game favors Ohio State to win. Like, so if it's a close game, Ohio State is likely going to win that. If it's a blowout on, or if it's a, that's the wrong way of putting it. If it's a close game, Ohio State's favored to win. If there's a blowout going on, it's likely on the Ohio State side. If it's a shootout, that favors OSU a lot. Even if it's a rock fight, I think Ohio State should still win that. The only scenario in which Ohio State shouldn't win is if the lines of scrimmage disparity is as big as some of the more pro-Miami people are saying it is. And if that's the case, then things somewhat change. Not really change, because Ohio State still has a pretty massive outside edge, and I don't think their line of scrimmage edge or defect is as wide as some people think, mostly because of Ohio State's defensive line. But while Miami's offensive line is full of NFL players, it hasn't been like outer worldly this year. It has a lot of talent, has a lot of size, a lot of future NFL players on it, but it hasn't been this domineering unit in all of their games the way that you could say Iowa's has been, or that Oregon's has been, or that I think Georgia's has been, or that when healthy, Indiana's has been, for example. So I'm curious to see how this looks. If Miami wins, I still don't think they would win it all or even could. It would be an upset, and I think that would just make Georgia's path, or whoever from the top half of the bracket's path, much easier. It's close to game time here. ESPNU is the Skycast, so I'm pumped for this. It'll be on mute. Oh yeah, see, it's gonna kick off in 3 minutes, man. I can't. Wow, like it's all coming to me. I know my team isn't involved. They haven't been since 2023, but I really don't care. You know, this is just, it's about having fun. It's about making good predictions. It's about analyzing these games. I imagine this is going to be an Ohio State kind of home crowd. I'm expecting it to be that way. Don't know, though. Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be like, at very best for Miami, it's going to be a 60-40 OSU crowd. I'm assuming this is 70-30 or 70-25 Ohio State. Like, there are some noticeably big pockets of Miami fans, but I'm imagining that this is a majority Ohio State crowd here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Roaming Gnome, Moody Meatball, Chris Lane, Andrew Hay, and Kells. Thank you all, Armand Hammer. Thank you for being here and being moderators. Let's try to keep bot comments to an all-time low, spam comments to an all-time low. If you want me to say anything in between the commercial breaks, instead of interesting things you guys are saying, make sure to send in a super chat, and I'll try to respond to it as quickly as possible. And make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell. Just do those things, and I appreciate you. It's going to be a good game. I mean, again, I think Ohio State's going to win and cover, but an Ohio State blowout, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, it wouldn't be expected. But because of how Miami plays football, if Ohio State gets two big plays, the game is likely already over. Like, all Ohio State has to do here, guys, is to score 13 points based on what I'm seeing, based on the matchups. Now, these teams don't have a lot of common opponents. Sometimes these playoff games can be weird. Like, just stuff can happen. College football can be weird. But I think Ohio State just has to get to, like, they have to get past 10. So 11, 12, 13, get there and you probably win. For Miami, if they're going to defy that rule, they're going to have to force some turnovers. I said in my, whether it was bold prediction segment or preview and prediction segment, I think that that in order to beat Ohio State, Miami has to be +2 at least in turnover margin. And if they are not, well, yeah, I think Ohio State could lose the turnover battle here and win. I think Ohio State could win the sack battle. They could win the rushing battle, not because I think they dominate the line of scrimmage, but because Ohio State will have a much easier time getting open. I don't think Ohio State will receive a lot of coverage sacks. Miami could receive those all day because Ohio State's defense is that locked down. But here we are. Here we are. This game's about to start. The line is going to close at Ohio State -7.5. And we have the Cotton Bowl. First game, only New Year's Eve game of the college football playoff. Here, oh, excuse me. That's my bad. I had a very filling lunch and a good snack before this game. I expect Ohio State to try to come out emotional and fiery as they usually do in the playoffs. The question for Miami is, can they survive and make it competitive for a quarter or two and let Ohio State kind of cool off a bit emotionally, and then it can be a ball game. But I'm very interested to see, because Ohio State elected to defer. Miami's offense is going to receive this first. It's going to be a kickoff. Looks like it's going to go back into the end zone. Yep, it's going to be fair caught in the end zone by number 0 for Miami, that being Keontae Scott. Or, no, Keelan Marion. Keontae Scott also wears number 0, but only on defense. So exciting. Let me make sure the other broadcast is working. It is. You guys can see that. I think the ad is going to go away shortly. I hope it does. Yes. Okay. So for Miami, you have number 4 Mark Fletcher Jr. out there with Carson Beck. Ohio State not stacking the box, just a light box. They're going to get Fletcher out there, and Beck throws it inaccurately, incomplete. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Patricia only sent 4 there. I expect Ohio State to stack the box if they need to. So if Miami does get a drive going and Ohio State has faith in their corners, and they should, they'll stack the box. But they could probably get away with having a light box here with how effective their defense is versus how ineffective Miami's offense is. It's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. They are going to try to run it with Mark Fletcher. Fletcher only gets really a gain of 4, maybe 3.5 to set up a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6 from the 28, 29 yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd and medium, not 3rd and possible, but this Ohio State defense does a very good job of keeping everything in front of them. If you're Miami, most 3rd and mediums and even a lot of 3rd and shorts are going to result in punts. It looks like Ohio State is either going to sim pressure or they're going to bring all 7 guys. They do sim pressure. Beck is going to step up in the pocket. He throws, and he had an open man. It was Marion, but it was dropped. So it's going to be a quick 3 and out for Ohio State. Had an opportunity there, Miami did, but inaccurate pass. Sim pressure helps make the quarterback a little bit jittery. Actually, I think that was decent pass pro, but Beck had to get out of there. And yeah, it's just him and Marion were not on target. So Dylan Joyce is going to punt this ball away. And back deep for Ohio State, it looks like it's going to be Brandon Inniss. And Inniss is going to try to make something out of that, but he really doesn't. Only gets maybe a return of 4 yards at the most. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Ohio State at around their 30. It was a very quick 3 and out. That's not surprising at all, given that when you look at defensive analytics for Ohio State, they only allow a 37% success rate and only 4.25 yards per play. And on the offensive side of things, Miami only averages a 45.8% success rate, 6.27 yards per, 6.2 Am I looking at the... I am. Wow, I never knew Carson Beck technically had that great of numbers. He does, but, you know, the film wouldn't exactly tell you that. Bo Jackson gets about a gain of 3, maybe 2. Just tried to run to the left there. Was blocked up okay, but just not enough space for him to get through. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for Ohio State. It's going to be it's not a screen, but just a quick dump off to Tate. That could have been housed for a pick 6, but quick throw just out of Tate's reach. It's going to be 3rd and 7. And that will be from the 27-yard line. So Ohio State in literally the exact same position that Miami was. Both teams in 3rd and 7s on their first drive. Miami had someone a little open, but some miscommunication. What will happen with Ohio State on this 3rd and 7 against a Miami defense that is a vaunted pass rush? They do snap it. Sayan's under pressure. Sayan's going to take a sack. He had maybe like 2.5, 3 seconds at the most. That was Akeem Mesidor getting after him. And they just bull rushed the interior of that O-line. Like, that was strength on strength. And Gabe Van Sickle got destroyed. Phillip Daniels, he wasn't much help. Yeah, Sickle got destroyed. Hinsman, like, the left side wasn't even targeted that much. Miami clearly did their homework on Ohio State's O-line there. Sayan takes a 10-yard sack. It's 4th and 17. So both teams 3 and out. They're going to be punting this football back to Malachi Toney, true freshman phenom. And it looks like Toney is going to, take a fair catch at the 39. So 2 3 and outs and a sack already. This is Miami, Ohio State. And it looks like they're going to take a commercial break. Oh, there's a lot of Miami fans there. They were just wearing orange, so I thought those were all Buckeyes, and there are some Buckeyes mixed in, but a lot of that is orange. So already, wow. So Ohio State has negative yardage. Miami has 3 yards. Those are the scripted drives, ladies and gentlemen. You have not even seen the unscripted drives yet, where the defenses will probably have an even bigger advantage because both Heatherman and Patricia are elite at adjustments and both defenses are more talented. Well, Ohio State's defense is the most talented unit on the field, I would say, by quite a bit. Miami's defense it probably matches Ohio State's offense in talent. Like, there is no Jeremiah Smith equivalent on defense for Miami, but they also don't have a position as weak as Ohio State's offensive line on that side. So yeah, I would say both defenses are more talented than both offenses. Just the gap between the OSU defense and Miami offense is much wider than the Miami defense over the Ohio State offense. It it would not shock me if the score at halftime was 0-0, just like the first game. That wouldn't shock me at all. Would not shock me. Bless me. Well, hopefully we can get to 1,000 concurrent viewers at one point. To any of you Miami fans or Buckeye fans joining, go Hurricanes, go Buckeyes. Make sure to stay on for commentary telling you what's happening. Maybe you can listen to me while watching the TV because these announcers are actually good. I can't listen to them because I don't have Bluetooth on my TV. And because if I did play the volume and it was heard by YouTube, I'd get this video would get demonetized for understandable reasons. But say what you want to say in the chat. As long as it's clean, send in super chats if you feel like it. Make sure to like the stream and engage with us, and that's all I ask. Game's back on though. It's going to be 1st and 10 Miami at the 39. Ohio State obviously played in this building in last year's semifinals against the Texas Longhorns, who beat the Michigan Wolverines today, 38-24, or 41-27. Correct margin, incorrect score. Total was off by 6. Beck is back there with Fletcher again. and they're going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher. And Fletcher's going to get, I think, 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be a second and medium. Let's see where they spot the ball. Yup, he gained 4, exactly. It's going to be second and 6 from the 43 of Miami. They're going to hand it off again. No, it'll be play action for Beck. Beck is going to dump it off to number 4, and number 4, I believe, is in Ohio State territory. That is Mark Fletcher Jr. So Miami moving this football a little bit. They're going to be out to the Ohio State 42. But that's just the first down of the game. Let's see if they can finish it off. They had several drives that got to about midfield against A&M, and they faltered there. And this Ohio State defense is so much tougher than that A&M one. There's one thing A&M's defense is better at, but it's very niche and specific. Overall, they're far worse of a defense than what Ohio State has. That was a run by Mark Fletcher Jr. of, I believe, 1 or 2 yards. Yeah, just 1 yard. It's going to be second and 9 from the 40. Miami's kicker, not very reliable, is Carter Davis. The wind certainly affected him against Texas A&M. This season he has been, all right for Miami. But man, that A&M game was rough for him, mostly because of the wind. But you got to be thinking that Miami's probably wanting to get at least 2 more first downs before even considering a field goal. It's going to be a short pass to Mark Fletcher, and he drops it. Just Beck and his receivers and playmakers last game and this game seem to be off so far. A little bit of miscommunication here and there. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Again, if you're Miami, you do not want to be 3rd and long against this defense, because there is the risk of a sack, there is the risk of a turnover, but more importantly, this defense is the best in America, just keeping everything in front of them. That's their strength. So it's unlikely that you're going to get off the field here. They do complete it though, and actually pick up a first down. Beck had that was a really nice throw there by Beck on a slant to CJ Daniels, I believe, and that picked up a good gain. Yeah, that's 1st and 10, and they're at the 27-yard line of Ohio State. Miami will also bleed the clock. I imagine Ohio State will too. A lot of people have been, hinting towards them using tempo, and if they think it's useful, they'll use it. But I think that this team in particular is more suited to the slow pace of play than even last year's team was. Malachi Toney takes the direct snap. He gets inside the 25 down to the 23. So that is going to be a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Miami. They love to use him in Wildcat. They love to get him on jet sweeps and outside runs. They like to use him on trick plays. They like to get him a ton of touches because he is their most athletic player. Non-offensive line, of course. Like some of Miami's freaks on the lines of scrimmage would have something to say about that. But it's Toney and the lines of scrimmage that are Miami's strength. Beck is going to have a drop back pass here on 2nd and 6. He's going to take off and run and get to about the 20, I believe. Maybe the 19-20, I think, is where it is. Can't exactly see the football. But yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Hurricanes. Got to think that maybe this is 4-down territory for Miami. Maybe. Ohio State's 4th down defense is elite, but it is very early. You probably know that, they have a better offense than you. I would not be shocked with how they're lined up if they just don't pound it right up the middle and see what Ohio State's made of. That is exactly what they do. And I think Fletcher fumbled it, and I think Ohio State recovered it. That's exactly what happened. Fletcher got hit. He would have made it a 4th and 1, but he got hit, and I think Caden Curry recovered the fumble. Yes, that's exactly what happened. So, huge stop by Ohio State, even with Miami having some momentum. They'll obviously review this, but I think it came out like clearly before he was down, and it's going to be Ohio State football. So, big stop by the Ohio State defense. That is something where if you're Miami, you can't have that. That was a really good drive you put together. You had some nice contested catches. You were getting a little bit of push initially on the lines of scrimmage, and you got a sack on Sand to like really get momentum, and now Ohio State just stole momentum back away from you. Not the end of the world if you're Miami, but you're hoping somehow he was down or it was recovered or that you can get a quick 3-and-out here. That was a big play by Caden Curry. And Caden Curry this year has been, I would say, their second best defensive lineman. I think Caden McDonald is their best. But Curry leads the team in sacks with 11. He also has 2 passes defended, 1 forced fumble already, and 2 fumble recoveries. Add 1 each to his total, and 60 total tackles. So, I mean, he is one of their better players, senior, out of eligibility. So whatever is Ohio State's last game, whether that's this game, whether that's the Fiesta Bowl, whether that's the national title, that will be Curry's last game. He's really come a long way for them this year. Yeah, that was, wow. Just like, oh, we finally have offense, and then, exciting ending to the offense, but now you wonder, is Ohio State going to go down and get a touchdown? Are they going to get in field goal range? Or is it going to be another 3-and-out or another turnover here? Yeah, Curry doesn't have any eligibility left, just answering a question in the chat. He was a 2022 recruit, and I think he played in more than 4 games every year and never redshirted. So he doesn't have eligibility. No. And another comment that I saw that I agree with, yeah. That's a touchdown off the board for Miami. That's a touchdown off the board because the way they were driving that, I don't know if they would have gotten a touchdown. It's certainly points off the board. I think they were certainly getting points with that drive. Who's your Viking? Thank you for joining us, both as a member and as a moderator. Appreciate you a lot. So now it's 1st and 10 for Ohio State. They are at their own 19, at their own 20, given a 66% chance to win per ESPN's FPI. Their first drive was a 3-and-out where Sayan took a 10-yard sack. Curious to see what happens on this next drive with 8:51 left in the quarter. We've already had 3 drives between these two teams. Miami had kind of a long one there that took up a little over 4 minutes of clock. Ended with a fumble forced by Caden Curry, recovered by third Ohio State linebacker Peyton Pierce, who's their number 3 guy in that room behind Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. Now, Ohio State's out there, and beside him he has Bo Jackson, Sayan does. It's going to be a play-action fake, and Jeremiah Smith has it, and he is very close to a first down. If not, he has it. It's going to be either 1st and 10 again. Yep, they mark it 1st and 10. So Ohio State picks up their first down of the game. Just nice little pass to get things started, and it was a quick pass too. So what Ohio State's going to need to do here, get the ball out quickly and rely on their speed and space against Miami's tackling abilities. I think that will help them win the game. They are going to try to run it. They're going to try to run Bo Jackson to the left, and he just gets destroyed. That's going to be a 2-yard TFL. Well, not him. Bo Jackson's their best player. That's why he has over 1,000 yards rushing, despite some of the struggles the offensive line has had this year. They were just running like outside zone there, or maybe inside zone. He was bouncing it to the outside, and Miami just outpowered him. So it's going to be second and, is that 13 or 12? I think it's second and 12 from their 27. They're going to try to run it again with Bo Jackson, and Jackson does gain something, but not enough to where it is going to be it's going to be a third and medium. It's going to be third and 4.5. So that was a gain of 8 there, I believe. Yeah, gain of 8, gain of 7. This is an obvious passing down, but it is a situation where they could dump it off. They only need 4 yards to pick up that first down. And they'll probably try to get the football out pretty quickly. So Julian's saying he's going to try to go deep, and it's incomplete. He had to get that football out quickly because yet again the interior of that Miami D-line was like snap 1, and Ohio State's guard is already trying not to hold him. So he had to get that football out pretty quickly. Tried to get it to Carnell Tate, just overthrew him, and Ohio State's going to punt on a 4th and 4. This is a game where whoever's more comfortable in the rock fight, whoever is better situated there, is going to win. And they are going to punt this one away. Tony is going to fair catch it. Nice punt, I would say. Fair catches it at his own 17. So that is, what, 30? Yeah, it's a 48-yard punt. It's a pretty good punt right there by Joey McGuire, the redshirt sophomore, and Miami will have it 1st and 10 with 6:36 left in the game. Neither team running the football all that well, neither team passing it that well. Miami so far through 2 drives is far better at pass protection than Ohio State is. That's really the only difference that I'm noticing. Ohio State clearly, I think, so far, it's pretty similar, except Miami has the better pass protection, better pass rush. That's about it. So, very early in the game, clearly seems to be like it's going to be mostly about defense, but we'll see. And everyone who's on here, make sure to like. We're going to try to get to, we're already at 60 likes. Let's try to get to like 300 or 400 likes by the end of this stream. Let's try to do that. And send in super chats if you want to. People are already criticizing Day's play calling. That's not what's going on here. They threw it downfield on that 3rd and 4. The reason Sayin missed is he's under pressure. Like, most of the time so far, in a very small sample size, yes, that he has passed the football, he has been under pressure. Every snap, except for like one where it's been Ohio State's O-line directly versus Miami's D-line, Miami's defensive line has won. And won in a pretty obvious way where it's not really up for debate. Regardless of what Day calls, that is not going to triumph like the physical or athletic realities in game. It's the coach's job to adjust to that. And I think that they have done what they can do so far by getting it out quickly. That's what they've been doing. Like, Sayin's gotten the football out very quickly outside of that one sack he took. So I think Ohio State can actually win this if it's a rock fight. I know not everyone believes that, but this Ohio State team, I think, is very similar to 2023 in the sense that they can win rock fights because they're led by defense, and last year's team could win rock fights too, but it rarely was last year's team in a rock fight because of how that offense functioned. Oh, we're already at 100 likes, guys. That's incredible. Well, we're a third or a fourth of the way there. Let's see what Miami can do on a 1st and 10 from their own 17. Fletcher is once again in there with Beck, and they have 3, 10, and 9, that being Moore, Tony, and Lofton lined up to Beck's left. Beck is looking to pass. He is going to try to take off and run, and he does get past the 20. So it's going to be a second and very short. Yep, 2nd and 2. Carson Beck, Ohio State's only rushing 4, dropping back in coverage. That's why Beck has been able to take off a few of these times and pick up extra yardage. The pass blocking's been good, and he has a numbers advantage in pass pro versus pass rush. So that's helped keep the team on schedule a little bit more. With A&M, they were stacking the box more than Ohio State has so far. They're going to run it up the middle with Tony, or not Tony, but Fletcher, and Fletcher picks up the first down. It's about a gain of, I would say, 5. Gain of 5 or gain of 4. Yeah, gain of 5, maybe even 6. Yeah, so it's going to be 1st and 10 Miami from the 31. Just straight in between the tackles, up the middle, bounced it when his initial block wasn't there. Mark Fletcher's a good running back, and he has a good offensive line in front of him. Carson Beck maybe changing the protection, checking it, maybe changing the play. It's once again going to be an off-tackle run, or, oh wow, Fletcher broke a few tackles there, navigates, hash mark to hash mark, and is going to get to the 40? Maybe the 45? That was a pretty, 45. He's going to get to the 44. That was a pretty good run by him. They wanted to go off tackle to the left, but Arvell Reese blew that up. So he bounced inside and went from the left hash mark to the right hash mark and broke it. Sonny Styles, that was Sonny Styles' first missed tackle of the year, guys. That was his first. So don't know if that's a bad omen. Don't know what to think about that. That might be a hold. Oh, he fumbled it again. Tony fumbled it again. Oh my gosh, and Miami players are flopping. Wow. Yeah, Ohio State's been tackling hard. They've been tackling hard. Like Tony fumbled, but he recovered his own fumble. Fletcher's fumbled, and Ohio State recovered that. So, craziness already. We've seen Julian Sayin think about it too long and take a sack, which he usually doesn't. And we've seen Miami nearly turn it over 2 times. Kind of insane. 2nd and 5, they are going to run it again with Fletcher. Fletcher, man, is just busting through tackles today. He's most of his rushing yards have come after contact. He went through Caden McDonald, and I'm pretty sure either Jackson or Reese there to turn it from what would have been a just 3rd and 5 after the 2nd and 5 to now it's a 3rd and 2. And you wonder if Miami's going to try to run this thing up the middle again, since they have had enough success with it. They want Tony on that left side for whatever reason, along with Joshua Moore, number 3. It is going to be a pass from Beck, and it is caught by C.J. Daniels inside the 40. And Miami's now Miami now has put together 2 sustainable drives against this defense, and that's interesting. For a look, it's an offense that's 31st in adjusted EPA per play. It's not even top 15 in overall efficiency. It's just strange so far. I think I would put a lot of it to Beck playing better than he did against A&M, and their offensive line's doing a good job against one of the best D-lines in America. It's another quick pass. It's a screen to Tony. Tony is gang tackled by Arvell Reese, Kenyatta Jackson Jr., and Sonny Styles. He's just going to pick up a very short gain out to the 35, so that will be a 2nd and 6 for the Miami Hurricanes. Closing in on only 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Miami, as always, will try to bleed this clock, limit possessions. It's what plays to their edge here, since Ohio State is the more talented team, the faster team, the deeper team. 2nd and 6 will be a run. No, it's going to be a pass, and a quick pass to the outside, and it will be a first down. Nice catch there by number 1, Josiah Trader. and Miami's inside the 30. Just a quick little flat route there by number 1, and he picked it up, and he was tackled by, I think that was Caleb Downs. Can't exactly see the jersey. No, that was number 6 for Ohio State. Number 6 being Devin Sanchez, backup corner. So Miami, once again, is close to the red zone, but last time they were here, Ohio State forced a turnover. It's a very clutch red zone defense. They are going to hand it off, and that was a big run. That was a huge run for an up-the-middle run against this defense. They got nearly down to the 20. It's going to be second and short, and that was Gerard Pringle Jr., number 3 player behind Mark Fletcher Jr. and Charmar Brown on the depth chart. It's going to be second and 3. That was just really nicely blocked by Miami up there. And this will probably be, this upcoming play, second and 3 from the Ohio State 21, will probably be the final play of the first quarter, I would presume. Patricia's stacking the box more, though. He's made some adjustments. But Miami's getting yak. Like, they're getting yards after contact. I think they just picked up a first down there. It's either going to be third and very short. Nope, they're going to give him the first down. 3-yard run by Pringle. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Ohio State 18 at the end of the first quarter. Miami, over 100 total yards of offense, holding Ohio State to 9. They have 7 first downs in 11 minutes and 20 seconds of possession. They're 2 of 4 on third down. Yeah. Yeah, like what Miami is wonderful at doing is if you let them get sustainable drives, they'll eat up the clock. That's why Ohio State so far only has 7 plays, and Miami already has 21. They have triple the plays Ohio State does. Okay, letter SFF2. If you follow the rules and you're not a jerk with moderator status, I will add you. We could always use more moderators. So you're going to be added. 836 concurrent viewers, guys. Thank you so much. It would be awesome to get to 1,000 or 2,000. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this around. Make sure to stay on. Would love to get your guys' input in the chat. If you have any super chats, please share them around. Interesting first quarter. I would have not expected, I did not expect Miami to be having 2 sustainable drives together. I would have not have expected that. But the good news is, if you're Ohio State, is that it's 0-0, and despite the fact that Miami, I would say, decisively won that first quarter, it's tied. So if you're Ohio State here, you want to get a turnover again, and you want to hold them to a field goal or a field goal attempt. Allowing a touchdown here, given how this game is playing out, I think is where, the pucker meter isn't high, but now the game script that kind of everyone, the game script that everyone expected to happen will be thrown out the window if Miami scores a touchdown here. Because I don't think anyone expected Miami to have over 100 yards in one quarter. And if they did, they were probably biased Miami fans, because there's nothing about Miami's style of play that would indicate that they could have 2 sustainable drives against this type of defense. And yeah, holy spammers. It's bad. But giving you moderator status to take care of that, the more mods we can have. Pissed off Ohioan, you're a moderator. The more moderators we can have, the better. Eric, go Bucks. They learned nothing from the Indiana game. That's not true. They have, dude, that's not true. Everyone thinks the play calling is why Ohio State lost to Indiana. That may have played a part in it, but I think that narrative's a little bit BS. What more so happened is Indiana just won the line of scrimmage. And when you win the line of scrimmage, it's hard for any team to win. Usually, the team that wins the line of scrimmage always wins. And Ohio State's one of these unique exceptions where they're so elite on the outside that I've seen them win multiple games or be in multiple games where they're convincingly losing on the line of scrimmage. Ohio State, look, they're not a perfect team. They're not going to blow everyone out. See, they're going to try to run with Mark Fletcher, and they're allowing yards after contact. That's kind of what's happening here, which didn't happen against Indiana. Indiana, they allowed very little yak, with rare exceptions. Either Indiana just outplayed them, out athleted them, or blocked it up perfectly and got a gain, or else they were stopped. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is that Ohio State has point of contact, and then Miami drags them for a few yards. They're kind of playing it like a tortoise, like a slow-moving, super heavy tank is what Miami looks like right now. It was a good run by Mark Fletcher. It seems like Ohio State's trying to bring more pressure. I think I just saw like a linebacker blitz up the middle, 5 men coming forward. This is going to be third and very short, I believe. Third and 2, third and 1. So Miami has it at the Ohio State 10. They're ramping up the TOP. They're ramping up the plays. Curious to see what Ohio State does here. If I were the Buckeyes, I'd probably guess obvious run. It certainly looks like it. I see a lot of big bodies kind of crunched together, and Styles is lined up on the defensive line. Oh, they're going to fake it. Oh my gosh, what a play. They faked it like Beck was going to take the QB power, and Mark Fletcher out of the backfield gets in the end zone for a touchdown, and Miami's on the board first with a 9-yard receiving touchdown. It's going to be 6-0. There are no flags based on what I can tell, and it'll be 7-0 when they kick the extra point. You guys, if only I could have a broadcast that could show you the play. So it was an unbalanced look. Miami has like everyone to the right side and the running backs to the left. So you think maybe they'll run like stretch or they'll run an outside run to the right. Instead, they start off as if it is going to be that, or if Beck is going to take it with a QB power to the left, to the weak side, to the short side of the field. And it's an RPO all the way to number 4, Mark Fletcher Jr., and he gets a touchdown. Holy cow. I was not expecting that. Miami so far has done a good job of mixing things up. They've passed on several third and shorts where you think you could probably run the ball here and pick it up. But they've been aggressive, and I like that because they're the underdog here. And because I think based on these first 2 drives, you can run it for almost a guaranteed 2-3 yards and occasionally get more. And doing that and then mixing in pass is going to force Ohio State to think about a lot of different angles, a ton of different angles. Wow. So that drive from Miami was 8 minutes and 4 seconds, 13 plays, 83 yards. Those are the drives that they want because they limit the amount of drives Ohio State has. And yes, this should have been 10-0 or 14-0, but credit the Ohio State defense for getting the turnover. It's the best defense in America. If for some reason it's not, the only defense that I think would be better that Miami will realistically face if they win this game or somehow reach the title would be Indiana. But this is the most talented defense they have faced, and I would also say the best as of right now. Now it's 50-50 per FPI. We'll see what adjustments Ohio State makes, though. They have an elite staff. Their strength is going to be on the outside here. And that's what's interesting is that we've seen Miami actually kind of win on the outside here with some of these short dump offs where they get, yards after catch and, we've seen physicality on the outside with the yards after contact stuff. Miami right now has 3 TFLs and a sack, and Ohio State has none of that. So it is through the first quarter, early second quarter. Game is far from over. Make sure everyone, too, we love college football and college football with Sam. We love it. We talk about it. We have passionate fans, several of them who constantly follow the channel, but we also have a Discord server where passionate fans can go from any fan base and just type away and talk about their team. After, like, sometime later this week, I'll probably add more threads for different teams. So yeah, like, join our Discord server. And the Discord server, by the way, the link to that is in the description, but I am going to copy it here and I am going to paste it and I am going to pin it so that way you guys can see it whenever I reference it. So please join that Discord server. And we're at 140 likes. Help us to get to 200 right now if you wouldn't mind. And these players are chippy with each other. That's something I've noticed. So Miami goes down and they score. It's 7-0. What is Ohio State going to do? Rarely are they down, but they're the better team here. They're still favored on the live line. And they have something called Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, who are definitely better than Ohio State's corners, that being O.J. Frederique and Ethan O'Connor. The question is, can they protect long enough for those receivers to get open? So are they going to add extra blockers to help Sayin? Are they going to trust their current O-line? It looks like they did go full-on max protect, and they are going to go deep to Jeremiah Smith, who has it. So, yeah, adjustment made. Already down inside the 15. That was max protect there. They only had 3 receivers. They had like 8 blockers to give Sayin the time to find his receiver, Jeremiah Smith, deep. And Ohio State has the football. They're going to mark him down at the 16. So that is an adjustment there, where they brought in multiple tight ends. All of them were blockers. It was max protect. That opened up Miami's defense a little bit and is just a very quick response by Ohio State there. Let's see if they can cash it into a touchdown, or if they settle for a field goal. What happens here now that they're inside the red zone for the first time today? It is a play action kind of RPO, and Sayin had Claire in the end zone, but he takes a sack by Ruben Bain Jr. Like, he had Claire there, but I think he felt Bain and panicked, or he thought he might get hit as he threw. But he had, I think that's Claire. Right? Or is that Bennett Christian? It's an 80 number, and all their tight ends have 80s, unless it's Jelani Thurman, who hasn't barely even played. So it's 2nd and 16. It's the 2nd sack for Miami of the day, the 4th tackle for loss. They're going to motion out Claire. It is going to be a quick pass. It's picked off! Miami's going to get a pick 6 by Keontae Scott. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, you can't. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm talking about, guys, though. That was the perfect adjustment by Ohio State to go into max protect, but Miami is getting such heavy pressure. Such heavy. Wow. Holy moly. Holy moly. That changes everything. That changes everything. Wow. Oh my gosh. But guys, that's the problem. Ohio State can only get the football out quickly, otherwise it's a sack. So they either have to go and max protect, which probably is their best strategy now, or wow, that's crazy. Like, when you have to get the football out quickly, you kind of become predictable. Because there are only so many plays in which you can get the football out quickly. Like, you can't get the football out quickly deep. You can't do that. unless your guy like beats the other guy off the line of scrimmage, and Miami is going to be playing at least one high safety, if not two high safety, this whole game. They have to. Just my goodness. Holy moly. That changes everything. That changes everything. Wow. Wow. That is insane, to say the least. I'm stunned for words. I do not know what to say. Like, but I think the early read on the line of scrimmage play is totally correct. Like Ohio State's, I'm going to tweet it out right now. Wow. That's insane. Holy moly. Wow. It's very early, though. Like, Ohio State's not out of the game. I keep seeing people say game, Ohio State's out of it. That's not true. But my suspicion that this Ohio State team was not 2024 Ohio State has probably already been proven to be correct. Like, this is kind of this is crazy. Yeah, so this is the play. They're trying to get the football out quickly because that's really all they can do. And so they're talking about the play. They motion it out, and Scott just immediately reads who it's to. That was a good play by Scott. Wow. Holy moly. Well, if you believe Ohio State's going to come back, you better buy that, like, national title odds thing, because those are probably dropping pretty precipitously. But it is 1st and 10 for Ohio State on the 25. Sayin is once again under duress. It is caught by Jeremiah Smith. He quickly falls down. It's a 1st down for Ohio State. I thought he was going to get picked off again because he was immediately under pressure. Every pass attempt that Sayin has thrown except for one, he's been under pressure. That's not good because that severely limits what an offense can do. And if they try screens, Miami can read those, as we've seen. Are they going to run it? They're going to run it, and that's actually a pretty good run. That's with C.J. Donaldson. Donaldson gets out to the 50. So that was a good run by Ohio State. Gain of 12, about right there. So Ohio State, once again, like putting together a drive. They're motioning in their 2 tight ends who are out there, so maybe this is a max protect play again. It certainly looks like it's a similar formation to the first one. It is going to be a play action. They're going to try to go deep, and it is incomplete out of the end zone. There is no flag either. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. He was looking for Smith, but he threw that very close to the boundary. Looks like it's going to be incomplete. Yeah, Smith and for Miami, that was don't even have the number. Oh well. One of their corners was in a battle. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for Sayin. Hinsman's just get. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sayin gets dumped behind the 35. Ohio State's O-line, guys, is just getting bullied off the football. So it's 3rd and 23. I mean, they're getting after Saiyan, man. Like, whether it is, like, Hinsman and the right side have not been doing anything. They're going to send 3 and get pressure again. And Donaldson, no, he's not going to have enough for the first down. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but it's a 4th and very long. Your best bet's probably to punt here. Oh my gosh, that just 4th and 11. They're at the 49. Sayan's getting. I mean, this isn't like Indiana, where Indiana was able to at times overpower Ohio State's O-line, but most of it was schematic. Ohio State's D-line is just bullying Ohio State's O-line off the field. McGuire's going to punt. And Tony's going to call for a fair catch at the 10, maybe 11. What I will, okay, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this once. No, Mr. Big Chew Magic, it's Justin Fry. It has nothing to do with this current staff. Fry recruited very poorly, and none of these Ohio State offensive linemen are high-ceiling NFL caliber linemen. None of them are. The only 2 that might be are Montgomery and Saraveld. It's probably only Saraveld, and Montgomery has that potential but isn't there yet. Like, Hinsman is... He's a good college player. Van Sickle's a redshirt freshman, and there's a reason why Shabola was starting over him. And Daniels is a good run blocker because he's big, but he's pretty bad in pass protection, at least from a preseason film angle. This year, he's been like very hit and miss in pass blocking, but I think you can attribute that to the fact that Ohio State hasn't played like Miami, along with IU, are the best defenses they've played all year. Add in Texas. Those are 3 defensive fronts that have like real NFL potential that are also consistent and have good coordinators. Michigan's had potential. They did not have discipline. They did not have the same potential as those 3. And Martindale's like a chud. He's a liability. So we've seen now against the 3 best D lines they've played, Texas they pass blocked well against, but they also didn't pass that much. Indiana and Miami, they've gotten destroyed. This is crazy. But I want to say again that Ohio State can come back. That's why I'm saying this is insane. That's why I'm not saying game over. I've seen Ohio State win so many damn times that I would never rule them out of coming back. In fact, if you put a gun to my head right now and force me to pick who's going to win, it would still be Ohio State. Just because they can snap and they have a touchdown with the talent they have. Now, if they keep getting pressured like this, that's not going to happen without several broken tackles. But Miami has a chance here to go on another long drive and basically close out the first half with a 3-score lead. Let's see what Ohio State's defense does, though. So 8:53 left in the half. Beck's going to snap it. He is going to hand it to Fletcher, and Fletcher only gets maybe like a yard, or not even a yard. He gets like a foot. Good run defense there. Caden McDonald, Kenyatta Jackson Jr., whooping them. Miami going a little bit of tempo here, but let's see if it's fake. Igbinosun's trying to communicate to someone, and Miami picks up another first down. That was number 7, CJ Daniels. Nice curl route by Daniels there. And then slipped through Igbinosun's arms to get past the first down marker. And Miami already has a first down on this drive. Make sure to like the video. Help us get to 200 likes by halftime, guys. Appreciate you. Okay, finally we're back at the Skycam angle. They're going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher gets forward for about 5, I would say. 5, maybe 4? Oh, 3. They give him 3. The ball was at the 4, but they moved him back. Thank you, Shin the Master Sparky. I will answer your super chat at the next commercial break. Beck looking to throw. It's another quick pass. Nice tackle in space there by Devin Sanchez. It's going to be 3rd down at the 29-yard line. So 3rd and 3. I'd imagine Miami is going to try to pass this football, but maybe they could run it and try to pick it up, all of it up, with just 3. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to be a pass. It is. Beck is going to run up the middle, and Beck is going to pick up the first down. It's another one where Ohio State's trying to get pressure, but they only send 4, maybe 5. Miami blocks it up well, so he has an avenue to run up the middle with as an escape valve. And he picks up that first down to extend the chains. Going to be 1st and 10 from Miami's 32. Both teams with 1 turnover, by the way. Are they going to review where he was down, or what are they going to do? They are going to review where he was down. Are they, or what happened? No, they're reviewing targeting. That's what, yup, they're reviewing targeting. I think. No, okay, thank goodness. That'd be so stupid. He's not down. Like, he clearly has that first down. Clearly has the first down. There's not enough to overturn that, I don't think. Yeah, he has it, man. The ball's right at the marker, right when his knee goes down. There's not enough evidence to overturn that. They're going to overturn it and say it was 4th and short, I guess. Is that what they're saying? Yeah, they're saying it's 4th and short. So that's a big break there for that's a pretty big break for Ohio State there. So Miami's going to have to punt this ball away. And they are going to punt it. And it's going to land. That was a beautiful punt. That lands at the Ohio State 9 with 5:52 left. Wow. Who gets the ball after halftime? J-Rod, the Damager, 420. Ohio State does. So if Ohio State goes on a long drive here and gets like a touchdown and it's 14-7, they're very much within this game. Very, very much in this game. Wow. Yup. That was a 60-yard punt by Joyce that's going to pin Ohio State inside their own 9. Wow. And Miami already has 15 minutes and 48 seconds of possession. Wow. So let's look at game on paper numbers right now for these two. So Ohio State's averaging negative 0.86 EPA per play. They have a 33% success rate. Miami has a 52% success rate and is averaging 0.07 EPA per play. Yeah. That's incredible. Oh, I need to reply to the super chat. I'm so happy I remembered that. Okay. I need to reply to the super chat. So let me do that. Oh boy. Yeah, guys, I mean, what a crazy game. I mean, if Miami holds on and wins, I'm going to be happy for Miami. If Ohio State holds on and wins, like, what a statement of Ohio State's like resilience. And I'd be happy for Buckeye fans too. This would be one to remember for Ohio State if they came back and won. And you know what? I think it's likely that they could. Okay, Ohio State can start repping the big time anytime now. Good Lord. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Shin the Master Sparky. They are going to try to run it, and that's just going nowhere. That was Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson just got back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing going right there. Thank you for the $5. Don't exactly know what that means. It's probably a critique of Ohio State, like, playing poorly so far. Let's see what happens on this drive. It's going to be a play action fake. Sayin is trying to dump it off. It's dropped. He was overthinking that. Like, he's seeing ghosts. He thought he had someone open, then he clutched again, and then he tried to dump it off to I think Christian or Claire, and that was just that, and it was dropped. So it's 3rd and 9. Miami with a 79.8% chance to win this game per ESPN's FPI. Oh yeah, he was trying to get it to Christian, and it was just a little bit too high. He sailed him. I wonder if they're going to try max protect here. Miami is playing with what looks like too high safety. Sayin, are they pressing Ohio State's receivers? I think they are. No, they backed out of it. Oh, Sayin, and he throws the ball behind CJ Donaldson in the end zone. He was under pressure. It's going to be 4th and 9, and Miami gets a 3 and out. And Ohio State's going to have to punt. Wow. Just Ohio State's offense has been totally shut down outside of that one max protect deep pass to their best player. That is insane. That's crazy. And again, look, if Miami wins, I was a moron for my prediction because I thought that I thought Ohio State would win and cover. Malachi Toney broke a tackle, and that was a good punt by McGuire, by the way. Miami doesn't even have it inside the 50. They have it at their own, 42, 43. That was a 47-yarder by McGuire, who's probably been one of Ohio State's better players in this game so far. Good punt. And we reached 200 likes, guys. Thank you so much. It's only 5 minutes, 2 seconds before that half. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell, and join our Discord server via the link in the pinned comment. Please and thank you. Wow. Just for Miami, it's been Mohamed Toure, Ruben Bain, and Akeem Mesidor, 4-3-1, have been tearing Ohio State apart. They're going to do a play action with Beck. Beck is going to try to get it, and he does. What? What? What's going on? Ohio State's not winning anything contested outside of, again, that one play. That was a wonderful throw by Beck, caught by Keelan Marion at the Ohio State 44. It's a first down, and Miami's going to be driving this thing again. Unless Ohio State forces a 3-and-out here. Wow. Well, hey, look, let's see how this goes. Mark Fletcher's going to run. He found a crease. Igbinosun tackled him, but he fell forward through an additional 3 or 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6 from the Ohio State 40. Wow. Okay, so it's 2nd and 6. Miami is bleeding this clock. Beck is going to pass. It's going to be a quick pass. And Marion is going to get down to the 37 of Ohio State. Maybe the 36. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. It's going to be 3rd and short here. And I imagine Miami's going to want to get this to first down around the 30 by the 2-minute warning. The way that this game is going. Miami right now is approaching 20 minutes of possession. And they've ran way more plays. They've looked like the more physical team. And it looks like Miami's going to call a timeout. Thank you, Hoosier Viking, for deleting that spam. Appreciate it. Yep, Miami took a timeout. Wow. Yeah, you can't win a natty with you can't win a natty with a poor offensive line. But Ohio, look, I'm going to take heat for this. Ohio State had these same issues last year. They just had a much better offense to deal with them. So it is 3rd and 3. Curious to see what Miami calls here. It is going to be a straight run up the middle, and Mark Fletcher's going to get 1 or 2. So it will be 4th down, but 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. I think, because I think they need to get to the 34, and they got to the 36 or the, yep, it's 4th and 2. Offense is staying on the field. They're going to wind that clock down. Curious to see what the play call is. If they get Ohio State to jump, I'm assuming it's going to be a pass play, but you just, never quite know. It is going to be a pass play. Beck, and my goodness, he got it to Tony, and they converted the 4th and 2. It just, look, I don't even think, this game's weird. Everything, like, nothing's going right for Ohio State. This reads to me so far like a Miami is playing their A game type game, and Ohio State's suddenly played their C or B game. That's personally what this seems like to me. This is a wrong place, wrong time matchup where Miami came out and, like, landed a hit in a few of them, and Ohio State, for whatever reason, wasn't ready to do that. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Davison Igbinosun right now has 8 tackles. He's leading Ohio State in tackles. He's only had 42 on the year, 23 solo. He already has 4. That's more than any game except for the Texas game. And that was at home against a quarterback in Manning that at that time wasn't playing as well as Beck is right now. Thank you, moderators, for deleting everything. And yeah, Ohio State's defense so far has gotten torn up. But, I do think a part of that is Miami's, again, like Miami's lines of scrimmage, they're dominating there right now. They're winning on O-line, they're winning on D-line. That messes anyone up, with rare exception. Ohio State last year kind of got away with this against Texas in the Cotton Bowl because their outside players were that much better, and they had a veteran quarterback in Will Howard who was willing to take hits, who was willing to throw it away, who was more confident than Sayin, and they had elite running backs who could break tackles in that game. Like, they had a lot more going for them, despite having similar weaknesses on O-line. Yeah. Also, to think about it this way, like Ohio State's D-line in the playoffs last year, no one could block it. Like, not even Oregon's O-line could block it. And we're not seeing that out of this Ohio State D-line so far. We're not. I don't know why, but they have no TFLs, they have no sacks. Miami has 3 sacks, 5 TFLs, and Ohio State has negative rushing yards. They have 8 carries for -7 rushing yards through the 2-minute warning, and they're probably not going to get the ball back. Like, if you're Miami here, your goal is to make this 17-0 or 21-0 at the half, and at that point you don't allow big plays, and you keep being aggressive and creative, and because things are going your way. Like, you have the moxie right now. You have the energy and the momentum. So you keep that foot on the gas in your own, 13-play, 80-yard drive, 8 minutes possession way. And I'm not saying by the way, guys, people are going to make excuses for the bye. I'm not going to. Ohio State doesn't look slow right now. They look like they're outmatched and they can't do anything about it. That's what they look like. This is not like Ohio State has looked like this before. They looked like this against Indiana. They looked like this against Texas, although not in the bad pass blocking way, but in the very slow, like frustrating, like can't get things going way. Whatever. The game's back on, though. It's after the 2-minute warning. Curious to see what adjustments Patricia has made, what adjustments Shannon Dawson has made. Beck is back to throw. Beck is under duress. Beck is going to try to run out of it, and he just takes a sack there. Should have thrown that one away. That right there was Edric Houston, Caden McDonald. The interior got the pressure there. And Kenyatta Jackson Jr. as well. And Ohio State takes their first time out. They want to get the ball back. They want a chance to score. They do not want to be down by 3 scores at the half, and I don't blame them for that. So Miami is sacked all the way back at their 34. Again, Ohio State spends its first time out. The Hurricanes have 18 minutes and 36 seconds of possession. The Hurricanes have ran 34 plays to Ohio State's 18. Yikes, to say the least. And we already talked about like the sack numbers. Like that was Ohio State's first sack and first TFL of the game. Came right around halftime. Imagine they're going to try to get off the field here. And yeah, that was a coverage sack. Like that wasn't like Miami's sacks where they got pressure within 3 or 2 seconds. That was a 4 or 5 second coverage sack where Beck was better off throwing that away. But also good pocket containment by the Ohio State D-line. There wasn't really an avenue for him to get out once he stepped up in the pocket. It's a good play by Patricia and by that D-line of Ohio State. So now it's 2nd and 14. You don't want to make any mistakes if you're Miami. They are just going to hand it off to Tony, and Tony gets dropped for a loss of 5 by Sonny Styles. Big play by him. That is going to be another loss, and now Miami is very behind the chains. They're outside of field goal range, and Ohio State takes their 2nd timeout. So maybe Ohio State's gaining some momentum here. Just maybe. It's going to be 3rd and 20. That was the incorrect call there. You're not in field goal range at the 35. You're not going to get a touchdown likely against this defense. Don't get cute. Run up the middle. Kick the field goal. Make it 17-0, and they have the ball, and they have to run a 2-minute drill, and their O-line can't block your D-line. Yeah. As people are already saying, this is classic Cristobal. Classic. You can't escape it. So 3rd and 20 with 1:50 left. Again, let's see. Ohio State's not playing press. They're playing pretty off coverage. Beck is back to throw. Beck is going to go deep. Beck, incomplete. No flags. It was an end zone shot. Devin Sanchez locked up Keelan Marion there. And Ohio State is going to get the ball back. Miami's going to have to punt this ball away from their own 40. Ohio State will have 1:44 to get down the field and get any points on the board, preferably a touchdown to make it a one-score game. But, yeah. Wow. Pretty poor sequence of play calls outside of out of the 2-minute warning for Miami, and good adjustments by Ohio State. Good job, not letting Miami take advantage of certain things. Okay, Joyce is going to punt this one away. And they downed it at the 2. Ohio State will have it 1st and 10. At the 2. Wow. So if Ohio State's going to get a touchdown, they're going to have to drive 98 yards. If they're going to get anything, they're going to have to drive 70 for Fielding to even have a shot to make a reliable field goal. Sam, can you fix an offensive line at half? You guys are funny. Thank you, Chuck Cribbs, for the $5 super chat. It just says great commentary, so I'll highlight it even though we're we have a play going on right now. Oh, did not mean to do that. So Ohio State's going to try to run this one. They're going to get 2 yards. No, they're going to get 4. You give them 4 just to get some breathing room for Sayin. They're going to have to go quickly, though. Did Miami just call a timeout? I think Miami just called a timeout. Did they not? What is Cristobal doing? What is he doing? Do you know Ohio State can get down the field quickly? I mean, maybe it's a smart move because Ohio State might just want to run the ball here and quickly get out of this to make halftime adjustments, but I don't know. Anyway, great commentary, Sam. Thank you, Chuck Cribbs 3398 for the $5 super chat. Go Hoosiers. He's a Indiana fan that comments basically on all of my Indiana videos and has been very supportive. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. So it's 2nd and 6 for Miami. We have 1,100 concurrent viewers, by the way. That's pretty awesome. 1:30 left. Miami's going to bring 4. Sayin is going to try to get on out of there. He's just going to check it down. And I think they picked up the first down. Yes, they did, and he got out of bounds too. So 1st and 10. Nope, they're going to list it as third. They're going to list it as third down. No, first down. My apologies, guys. And they did get out of bounds, so they can't afford to, slow things down there. It's going to be a play-action pass to Carnell Tate. Tate picks up a first down. There's a little RPO there to the 27. Minute 16 left. They're going to have to get up quickly to the line, either spike it, or I presume they already have a play called. Clock starts ticking. And Bo Jackson gets out of bounds for a gain of 8. Not Bo Jackson, CJ Donaldson, my apologies. So they're already out to the 35. They're putting together a nice drive here. Second and 2. They got Bo Jackson in the game now. Miami does send a pressure. It is going to be caught by Brandon Innes at the 46. 1-2 remaining. So again, Ohio State getting a lot of first downs here, moving the football pretty effectively, like their chances of scoring a touchdown here right before the half. They are going again, quick tempo. It's going to be caught but then dropped by Innes. So it's 2nd and 10. 56 seconds left in the half. Just Innes couldn't hold on there. Sayin was again under duress by Ruben Bain Jr., who's been consistently getting to the quarterback. It's a nice hit there by Miami's 24, Ethan O'Connor, the right cornerback. And yes, I do believe the Buckeyes can come back and win this. Anyone who says no right now is a fool. Caught by CJ Donaldson. It's going to be 3rd down with the clock ticking. Ohio State does have one more timeout, but I think they want to get in field goal range before calling that. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Clock again ticking. You're at, 35 seconds. You'll probably be about 30 by the time he snaps it. No, it's going to be 32 by the time he snaps it. And Sayin's going to be under duress. Sayin is going to be almost sacked, but he got it out and it was caught anyway by Brandon Innes for a first down. 25 seconds left. Clock will still tick, though. It's at the 39-yard line. Again, got pressured there. Miami's not quite set yet defensively. Oh, and someone called the timeout. Who was that? I think it was Miami. I imagine it was Miami, but let's see. Yep, Miami took their final timeout. 21 seconds remaining. Ohio State can come back and win, but you really want a touchdown here. You do not want a field goal. Field goal attempt, if Fielding misses it, could, further sway momentum Miami's way, or it could get blocked and returned for a touchdown. For example, 22 seconds left. You basically have 3 plays. 3, maybe 4. And that was a big throw by Sayin. That's where he's good. I mean, he's been under pressure all day. He kind of looks a little out of breath, right now. Day's trying to get him the play call pretty quickly. And once halftime starts, I'm going to refill my water, and I'm going to come back up here, and I'll answer questions. If anyone has super chats, I'll answer them. And again, a field goal here, it helps. It gives you some momentum entering the half, but it's still a 2-score game. If you get a touchdown here, you can match the score in the 3rd quarter. Sayin, back to throw. Tate is going to be short of the first down marker, and I think Ohio State just called its final timeout. Yup, it's going to be second and short from the 32. Ohio State calls their final timeout. I think that was a good timeout there. You know, you probably can get a few more attempts either at the end zone, or you can at least get a few more yards and like very quick dump offs to out of bounds to get in field goal range. It's a good call by Day there. And look, I'll say it here, and Hurricane fans will hate me for saying this. You know, Cristobal could win this game 28-0, and I think Day is a better coach than him. maybe that sounds insane, but I don't think it is. Like, Day has proven more. Day's done better. I think actually Day, if I'm being honest, has managed this game better than Cristobal. The problem is Miami's strengths have eliminated Ohio State's strengths. The roster matchup here, for whatever reason, like maybe it's just this given day, maybe this is always how this matchup would go. The roster matchup right now has very much favored Miami through 29 minutes and 44 seconds. Maybe they'll get a touchdown before half and it'll be like, hey, you know what? If not for the pick six, it's a pretty even game. So we'll see. They are going to snap. Oh, that was, wow. Okay. And Sayan just throws it away. With about 10 seconds left, it's going to be 3rd and 2. He almost got sacked there, but he broke through it, and then he made the wise decision to just throw it away. They're not going to check that for intentional grounding, are they? I thought they were for a minute, but no. Okay, thank goodness. I mean, he was already, like, he was just throwing it away right at the first down marker. You can tell Mesidor and Bain are on PEDs. No, that's not what... Ohio State's tackles just make defensive ends look like they're on PEDs. That's what you have to understand. You have about one more play here. Like, one more play. It's inaccurate. You have 6 seconds left. It's 4th and 2. You have to kick the field goal here. You got to try to kick the field goal. Get, like, something on the board. And if it misses or makes it, with how that sequence went, it might not mean anything. It may not. Wow. We'll see if Fielding can make it. It's going to be 4th and 2. What if they fake it? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Because Miami's totally playing this as if this is like a genuine field goal attempt. And Fielding shanked it. No good. So it's going to be 14-0 at the half. Jaden freaking Fielding. Jaden Fielding. Jaden freaking Fielding. Yup, going to be 14-0 at the half. How long has it been since... Oh! So Ohio State, guys, has not scored a point since the second quarter of the Indiana game. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, everyone. Well, it's halftime. It is halftime. Before, I know a lot of you are going to be probably, going off because it's halftime, but make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to check out the Discord server, do all those things. Let's get to 300 likes before I go on my halftime break. Just writing my halftime thoughts on a tweet. Wow. It's just crazy. It's this is insane. Again though, it's early. We're through a half. Ohio State could come back and win, but I mean the Miami's favored by like 6.5 right now on the live betting line, and the point total is at 34.5. So like if you bet Ohio State to cover at like a number higher than 8 or higher, really just higher than 7, you might be dead. But if you bet them at 7, you might get a push, because I could see Ohio State winning this thing by 7. I mean, I could even see them covering. They have that ability, but through a half, they haven't shown it at all. And we've seen now, like, Indiana held them to 10, and the only, like, we've seen 2 Ohio State drives, long drives, much like we did against IU, get totally neutered once they got past the 40. Totally neutered. Miami just got one for a pick 6. Miami just forced, like, turnovers on downs, which you obviously would rather have the pick 6. And we've seen Miami do something similar to what IU did, where IU relied more on their skill talent. Miami's relying, I think, more on their trenches. Beck is having a phenomenal game, too. So I am going to go downstairs, get some water, wash my face, maybe grab a little bit of a bite to eat. I'll be right back, though. Right back. And I'm also going to plug in my phone. Oh, but we got a super chat. So now I'm stuck here. Although I enjoy doing commentary with you guys. I enjoy it. Okay. Let's get to the super chat here. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Just curious if you feel like Arch Manning could end up being an early Heisman favorite next season after that performance against Michigan. He totally found his game today and looked lethal in my opinion. Shin the Master Sparky, thank you for the $10 super chat. Yeah, I think that Manning is going to be this coming year what everyone thought he would be this year. That's what I think Manning is going to be. Manning is going to be one of the best, if not maybe the best quarterback or quarterbacks in the nation. Oh, but people, come on with the long bye stuff. Come on. We all Miami is doing here is they're technically winning the turnover battle because Ohio State didn't turn their turnover into anything, and Miami's was literally a pick 6, and Miami got the touchdown drive. Like, in yards, these teams are equal. Now, TOP, Miami's basically doubled up OSU. They've tripled up on third downs. They converted a fourth down. They have 3 more first downs. And a lot of the stuff that Ohio State got before half could, like, I think they played a little bit better, but that could also be Miami, like, calling a more conservative game to not give up the big play. I mean, Ohio State still has negative rushing yards. Guys, we are through a half of football, and they have negative rushing yards, and Bo Jackson's averaging under 3 per carry. It's crazy. Crazy. So, yeah. Like, don't come in here and tell me, oh, this is the bye week. No, it's not. Ohio State hasn't looked invincible all season long. They're not unanimously number 1 in power ratings like they were for last year, or last year they weren't, but at least they played a tough enough schedule and had enough losses to where we knew they were like full-on battle-tested. This team's not the same as last year's team, and Miami is a better team than they were last year. If they keep this up, and with what they did against A&M, like, they're a better team than they were last year. So stop it. Enough with the, oh, this is all the bye week. You're taking away credit from Miami. You're acting like Ohio State doesn't have any agency over looking this horrific. You're by saying that, you're almost saying like Ohio State doesn't have a chance to come back, because regardless of the adjustments they make, they're still going to be coming off the bye. Again, though, and I just noticed, Shin, you're an Indiana fan, so go Hoosiers to you. Um, yeah, I think Manning will do well. The question for Texas is, how does Will Muschamp, how does he work with them? I, for example, think like they're going to get, from a very early view, they're going to get cooked against Ohio State next year, because Muschamp doesn't like to help out his DBs, very front seven focused. Ohio State, look, this is the second year in a row where it's actually third. 2023's O-line was never spectacular, though it had a higher ceiling than this unit did. 2024 was elite before the injuries, but after injuries, it was exposed that they had no depth. This is the third year in a row of the O-line causing issues for a good chunk, if not the entire year. Day's going to get this fixed. I'm confident in that. Like, even if they win out and win it all, he'll get this fixed. That's why he hired Bowen and brought multiple O-line staffers on. That's why he did that. How do I put this? How do I put this? Gosh. What am I even saying here? I think what I'm trying to say is that like Texas's defense is going to determine who they are next year, the defense and the O-line, which is sort of like tying it back to this game. It's what was going to determine defense was going to determine who Miami was this year, and defense and O-line was going to determine who OSU was this year. Ohio State, or not Ohio State, but Texas had a very bad O-line this year. Their defense kind of fell off towards the end. You have a philosophy change at DC. They're losing some key players in the backfield yet again. And their O-line, while it should be better next year, you never know. They actually haven't recruited all that well there. So those units and how they pan out and how they develop will determine what Texas is next year. We know they have quarterback. If they have O-line, then running back will almost be null and void unless you can get an elite player for for what you view as a bargain. And Wingo will probably be back, and they've recruited well at receiver, and Endries should come back at tight end. So it's literally going to be defense, O-line that will determine who Texas is. Thank you for that super chat. Really, really appreciate you, Shin Master Sparky. With that, I am going to take a quick intermission, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. So, I did get some feedback from a loyal follower on Twitter. Um, by the way, guys, so in getting some feedback, someone got put in a timeout who probably shouldn't have been put in a timeout. His name was, what was his name? His name was Advantage Trading. He's an actual Indiana fan. Maybe he was mistaken for a scammer because of the name, and I know there's a lot of like trading accounts that are stupid. He's not one of those. He's an actual fan. So there's not really a way to undo a timeout, but there is a way to like look for people who are banned, I guess. Like, let me look if like he accidentally got huh. Hold on. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, but if you saw anyone like Advantage Trading and you accidentally put him in a timeout, like don't. Oh, you saw that mistake. Okay, cool. Um wow. My heart is racing from that game, by the way. As long as Carson Beck controls the football, Miami wins. The turnover could get them right back into it. Yes. Um yep. Thank you for fixing it, guys, by the way. Just hid that user who's pretty bad. Um Oh man. Wow. I just don't see OSU pulling it off. Look, if they keep playing how they've played, they won't win. Like because it's a two-score lead, Ohio State can't play this way and win. Something's going to have to change to the half. Because say this was 7-0 and the only score say was the pick six, they could win playing like this. They could. Um yeah. Wow. The good news is Miami hasn't scored this entire. I mean, the fact Miami entering halftime not only has like a two-score lead, but they have the edge in total yards, first downs, and there's been no penalties on either team. The fact that they're winning third down and they're nearly doubling up OSU and TOP is pretty crazy. That's kind of nuts, honestly. I'm a Seminole fan, join the club. Oh, yeah, I feel pity. I feel pity for Seminole fans. I feel absolute pity. Wow. Whew. Okay. Yeah, guys, I don't have much to say other than reacting to what your comments are. I'm still trying to figure out that whole moderator thing. Like, what happened there and if he's back yet, because I don't see him in the chat. Oof. They have to score in this opening drive, start of the second half, and the Buckeyes need to start using play-action passes and also those tight ends to catch short passes and block. What do you think happens second half, Sam? I think Ohio State probably outscores Miami and makes it... I don't want to... What was I going to say? Like, I want to... Oh, man. I hate saying that I think Ohio State's going to lose. But if I had to make the pick right now, I would kind of think like they outscore Miami second half, but Miami holds on. Like, there's nothing indicating that Ohio State can, like, they can move the ball, but they haven't gotten the football inside the 10 yet. And, like, let me see something here. Like, Miami has 2 passes defended. They had 2 sacks on Sayin that Sayin evaded, that they could have nailed him for. And it's just kind of, you know, yeah, it's just, like, they've gotten more pressures than the sack numbers probably showed. Okay, hold on. I need to get my phone. And then the third quarter's starting. So then we'll all be good. You know, Ohio State's averaging negative 0.42 EPA per play. It's same thing with Indiana. Like, they're getting dominated EPA per play wise, but their elite defense is probably keeping them in this game. And is Ohio State going to try to return this one? They are. And it gets blown up very quickly. They're going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 18. Let me get my phone. Be right back. Wow. Oh, got new super chats. We'll answer those during the commercial break. Thank you, Hoosier Viking and Chuck Cribbs, for sending them in. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Ohio State at their own 18. Coming out of the half. They are going to try to hand it off to, I think that's Bo Jackson. And Jackson gets a gain of 6. So that was a good run. It was well blocked. Yep, 2nd and 3. They're going to hand it off again to Jackson, and Jackson picks up the first down. So they're coming out trying to establish the run, trying to change stuff up. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 31. All right. Looks like Ohio State's going to go conservative too. Like they're kind of trying to bleed the clock as well. They are going to do a play action pass, and they got it to Brandon Innes. on kind of a crossing route there. Innis is going to, pick up gain of 6, I would say. Nice pass by Sayin. There was some pressure in his face. They've now outgained Miami in total yards. Let's see if that does anything, though. Sayin is back there all by himself. Then he motions Jackson and Christian back into the formation. Wouldn't be shocked if they're going to run it here. Yeah, this looks like a classic run. And Jackson, Ohio State's now running the football pretty well. They're using that numbers advantage and trying to exploit a Miami box only as 6. And right there, they have like 7 blockers. Using that numbers advantage, they pick up a first down right there. They're going to have it 1st and 10 at the Miami 46. Now they bring in C.J. Donaldson. They're going really heavy tight end here. Miami's now trying to, I think, stack the box a little bit more. And that's a hold, but they're not going to call that, and Sayin gets sacked anyway. Number 12 for Miami got held there. He was as held as one could be. That was Marquise Lightfoot. And he still got Sayin by the shoe and brought him down for the 4th sack of the day. Yeah, he was held by both Luke Montgomery and Austin Ceraveld, and he got through them. So it's going to be 2nd and 14. Big sack by the Hurricanes there. 2nd and 14 at the Miami 49. Hinsman's holding up better. They do get it to Jeremiah Smith, who catches it. That was a good throw, high pointed so that Smith could get it. It's a first down by the Buckeyes. They're driving now. Holding up a little bit better in pass protection. Just looks like the O-line is kind of more set in than they were so far. And they're bleeding clock too. Like they're trying to make this they're trying to make this a long drive that burns some clock, gives that defense a little bit of a rest. Heavy formation. You got 2 tight ends to the left of Ceraveld. C.J. Donaldson's back there. Could be a max protect pass, play action. They are going to make it a run, and Donaldson is going to get a decent gain. But it's going to be like, I think, 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6. So Ohio State now is running it okay. The sacks certainly aren't helping the numbers, but right now they're running it okay on this drive. It is 2nd and 6. Oh, we got another $5 super chat. Again, we'll answer all of these at the next commercial break. Probably be midway through the 3rd quarter with how this Buckeye drive is going. Let's see. This is probably 4th down territory for OSU unless Sayin takes a sack and it's like 4th and long. Weirdly, they're going to have like Tate in the backfield. Don't know what this is. And Ohio State for the first time has it inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 8. So yeah, that one commenter said Ohio State looked hot before halftime. I bet they score here. Looks like they're going to. Looks like they're going to. Day must have found something about Heatherman's defense that he liked, and things are beginning to click and work. $9:40 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a long drive for OSU, taking up like 5 minutes and 30 seconds of clock. Will they run it here? No, they're going to throw. They're going to pass. It's covered. Sayin dumps it off to Claire, who picks up about a gain of 3. No, it's Bennett. Yeah, Claire or Christian. I forget. But it is going to be 2nd and goal still from the 5. Wonder if Ohio State's going to try to run it, because they have had success running it. They probably, if they've been having success with it, why shouldn't they try to right now? They are going to try to run it. And did they get in? No. But it is 3rd and goal, and it is going to be from the 1. So they are getting push now. It's been a nice drive, like a lot of running for Ohio State. The O-line has stepped up here out of the half. You did have that, one horrific pass pro rep with tons of holding, but you're not going to beat this Miami D-line every rep, even if you were an elite D-line, O-line. So what do they do here? Is Ohio State going to run this and it'll probably get in if they do run it. We'll see. They are going to try to when they do get in. Touchdown, Ohio State. Bo Jackson runs it in, and Ohio State's on the board with 8:05 left in the 3rd quarter. The score is now 14-6. "11 plays, 82 yards, 6 minutes, 55 seconds. Now it will be up to Miami to have a long drive of their own, so that they aren't punting the ball back to this very vicious Ohio State offense that literally they got back TOP. They did run the football well on that drive. Still not having a good day overall, but that one drive was very good. And now it's 14-7. Nice drive. Really nice drive. If they put together more drives like that, they probably win. That's why I was hesitant in saying that, picking Miami to win, come out of it. And there's the extra point. Was worried for a little bit that, may not go so well. But now we're back. Okay, let me get to these super chats here. Let me get to them. Because this is going to be a commercial break. If this is not, then I don't know. Oh, shoot. Did it disappear? The previous 2 super chats disappeared. That's how active the chat is. Strayer, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm glad I'm having a newborn in my hands to bring in the new year this time, not falling to my knees like that Georgia game. OH. And IO to you, Strayu. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Congratulations on the new year and the newborn. Really appreciate your support. Okay, for the other chats, because I can't pop them up, I want to address them. Thank you, Hoosier Viking, for the $5 super chat. We unblocked him shortly after he was blocked. He was active during the first half. It's all good. He did tell me through a message that he has access to the chat. He just can't type. Yeah, so he'll check in tomorrow, is what he said. Sam, how much of this is due to Heartline with USF on his mind? You said FSU, but you meant USF. I don't think much at all. Like, Ohio State's receivers here haven't been the problem. It's been their pass pro. It's been their O-line. That was a good drive by their O-line. I don't know how much I would bet on it, like, being that good for another drive. But we'll see. We shall see. Miami in this game currently, Bo Jackson's now up to 5 yards per carry. Miami, though, they have 4 sacks and 6 TFLs. Ohio State is a sack and 2. So Miami's still convincingly winning the line of scrimmage, for sure. Thank you guys for those super chats. We're only 19 likes away from 300. So let's get that up to 300 likes, guys. Let's do that. Get to 300 likes. That was a championship TD drive. Bad A, Buckeye. That, yeah. And I will also say the Oregon Ducks, they got away with some... So the one sack, they got away with tons of holding. They haven't been calling a lot of penalties in this game, but that one sack where, like, he was held by the entire left side of the O-line and he still got home, like, that's been the epitome of this game. So let's see what happens. We are, like... we're halfway through the 3rd quarter, and that was one drive. So I'm curious to see what Miami does now. Like, do they turn it over? Do they go 3 and out? Do they just kick a field goal? Do they get a touchdown? What happens here? What happens? Very curious to see. Ohio State now is up to just negative 0.11 EPA per play. Trends certainly say Ohio State's offense is getting hot. Let's see if that's the case, though. And we got to 300 likes. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So Miami got punched in the mouth there a bit, but Ohio State also had 2 drives before this where they got inside the 30. They just threw a pick 6 and came away with no points on the field goal. Miami has had 2 drives that have gotten to the 30, but they turned it over and then punted. The difference is how the turnover occurred. These 2 teams have been pretty equal, all things considered. Ohio State's team, their sidelines now fired up. If you're Miami, you have to go on a long drive of your own and at least get some points out of this to probably quiet Ohio State down, because now they're going to be amped. Beck going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher, and Mark Fletcher gets a gain of 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Hurricanes at their own 30. Clock is ticking. Both of these teams, like Ohio State used up tempo before the half. That was really it. Like every other time, these teams have not really gone up tempo. It looks like Ohio State's going to send some type of blitz or pressure here. They do. Ball gets batted down, though, and that was Caden McDonald, number 98, batting that down 3rd and 5. Otherwise, Beck had a man open. Huge play by him. It's 3rd and 5, an opportunity for a 3 and out for Miami. He had someone open, and McDonald just got a paw up there. That's an NFL play. Like, perfect awareness, perfect everything. But he is an NFL player. He's the best D tackle in this game. Let's see if Ohio State can get off the field here. Looks like they're going to send some type of pressure. Yeah, they're sending an all-out blitz. It is caught, though. It is brought in by Keelan Marion, and they convert on 3rd and 5. Absolutely necessary there. Even if you punt this ball away at some point, you've at least withered away more clock, given your defense a type of rest. He was on, that was number 6, Devin Sanchez, and he beat him. Good throw, good catch by Marion. And yeah, that was a perfect, clean catch. Gonna hand it off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher gets through the hole. Fletcher keeps churning his legs, and Fletcher gets close to the 50. So it's going to be 2nd and very short. Or not very short, but it's going to be 2nd and 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. And right there, I mean, McDonald got moved there, and you rarely move him. That's very hard to do. Credit to James Brockermeyer, Markel Bell, Francis Mauigo on that O-line. Fletcher as a whole, he gets through that, and now they're in Ohio State territory. That was a well-blocked run. Inez Cooper there. Again, right up the middle. They're at the Ohio State 40. That was a run of 12 yards for the Hurricanes. Just nice hole there. I can't believe how quickly this third quarter's gone. But it's because both teams have been running the football well, and there haven't been a lot of incompletions. That's why. They're going to hand it off again and just get a gain of 2, maybe 3. I'm going to mark it as 2, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. Only 20 minutes left in the game, guys. That's pretty crazy how far this has gone right by us. Miami's averaging 3.8 yards per carry. Ohio State's averaging 2 yards per carry. A lot of that's just due to the different sacks, and Alsain's taken some very long sacks. Ohio State has like had 2 of these drives though where they've bent, but they haven't broken. I'm curious to see if this is about to be the third. Beck is back to throw. Beck is able to initially escape. He gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. That was, you had Arvell Reese there coming off the edge, I believe. Him or Sonny Styles. Let me see who it was. Because these things just happen so quickly. Oh, it was a 1 yard sack. Yep, that was Reese. No, it was Styles. They sent Styles on a blitz, and he got him. Very, very good play by Styles there. Now it's a 3rd and long. If you're Miami, you're certainly feeling the pressure. You've at least given your defense a rest, balanced some of the TOP back in your hands, but you want to pick this up. Let's see what Patricia has dialed up here for Ohio State. They are going to send a blitz. It is picked up, though, and then it's fumbled by Tony, and Tony picks it up, and he's just going to be like a yard or 2 short. He caught it, then fumbled it, and had a very fortuitous bounce to recover it, and it's going to be 4th and short, 4th and 2, I believe. Keeps the clock going, puts Miami in a position where maybe, they're going to try a long field goal, I think. Is that what they're going to do? Yes, they're going to try a long field goal. I bet you they'll miss this one. Carter Davis is not exactly very reliable. I bet you they miss. But we'll see. 50-yarder by Carter Davis. Whoa, he made that. That could be the difference in the game. For Miami to respond with that, wow. Whoa. That's big. Like, the difference in special teams here has been a swing in 6 points so far. Where if Ohio State had the better special teams, it could be a 14-10 game right now, and they can have a touchdown to take the lead. Now it's a 2-score game again with only 18 minutes left, and that was a good drive of Miami's own, like 9 plays, 43 yards. Ohio State's drive only took up 1 more minute and 40 more seconds than them. Wow. That's a pretty big drive by Miami right there. Of course he makes it, and my kicker can't make from 30. Dude, Ohio State special teams, like, this might be a 3-point Buckeye loss, and all the talk will be about the special teams unit. But we'll see. I mean, Ohio State, look, they can still win. I mean, that was a big drive from Miami, though, to at least extend the lead while taking clock off. They crossed 200 total yards. They have 13 first downs. They have 4 third down conversions. And they have a 7-minute possession edge with only 18 minutes left in the game. So it was a pretty big drive from Miami there, too. They're almost about to cross 100 rushing yards, too. Almost. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, the difference has been Miami's fumbled it 3 times and Ohio State's only recovered 1. If they recover the others, it's probably tied, or Miami's only leading by 3. That's pretty big. And Miami's sole forced turnover, like Ohio State hasn't fumbled yet, but they did throw a pick and it was housed for 6. That's the difference here. Both of these teams are pretty equal outside of that. Like, you take all of that stuff away, and this is pretty much a tied game. Really, this is 10-7, 10-10, maybe even 14-10 OSU. Or maybe Miami finds a way to, like, cash in on another one of their drives. I don't know. But it's a closer game for sure. So 3:01 left in the third quarter. We got 18 minutes and 1 second left in the game. Both teams have 3 timeouts. They also have the 2-minute warning. Ohio State, they scored a long touchdown drive on their opening, a drive in the first quarter. But, oh gosh, come on. Are you serious? Yeah, that play by Tony to recover that fumble was huge, and he's going in the medical tent now. So hopefully he's okay. That'd be a pretty big loss for Miami. Pretty big loss for them. Daniel Bowl is predicting 17-14 at the end of the third, and there has not been one penalty in the entire game. No, there has not. There has not. Wow. So let's see what Ohio State can do here. They're only down by 10. They've been down by 14 for a good chunk of this game. They were down by 7 earlier in the game. Now they're down by 10. They can get a touchdown here or even a field goal that's pretty big. If they turn it over again, gosh, that would be pretty unfortunate, to say the least. Wow. Live line is Miami minus 3.5, and according to ESPN's FPI, Miami is given a 76.6% chance to win. Yeah, the spammers are pretty bad, but that's okay. And guys, we're only 79 likes away from 400. Let's get up to 400 likes right now. And we're past 60,000 viewers or very close to it. That's pretty incredible. And we're climbing. They'll only climb unless for whatever reason this game turns into a total blowout. And I don't think it will. But yeah, I mean, I picked Ohio State to win and cover, and I picked them to cover like 9.5, not 7.5, which was the closing line. I don't know if they're going to score 20 unanswered points here or outscore Miami for the rest of the game by 20. The Miami cover bet is probably going to cash, but we'll see. Again, there's a lot of time left, but these teams love to like chew clock and limit the amount of plays. They love it. Ohio State has 40 plays. Miami has 26 right now. So Ohio State caught up in the play department. They did. They actually, between their backs, they've been running it well, like 12 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. They've been running it well. The line has actually been better in run blocking today than pass blocking. It has, which, to be fair, Miami is better at, they're better at pass rush on D-line than run defense. They are. It's kind of like it's like the inverse of Indiana's, especially when they don't have Daly, where they're way better at stopping the run than getting to the quarterback on their own. And that's why I think Ohio State's running it and trying to run it successfully. Go Canes, says someone. Go Canes back to you. And go Buckeyes to any other Buckeye in this chat. We don't want to exclude any fan bases here. Y'all are absolutely awesome for helping this stream do so well. I cannot wait for my reaction. I can't. So Ohio State has it 1st and 10. They have 18 seconds or 18 minute and 1 second left in the game to make this something. They are going to try to run it with Donaldson. Donaldson picks up a gain of 4. Looked like Miami was kind of expecting that one, but still they got a good run with C.J. Donaldson. And there's an injured Hurricane player down. That's not good. That's number 99, Ahmad Moten Sr., their defensive tackle. So there's going to be a little bit of a break here, a little bit of an injury timeout. Hopefully, God, please protect him and please heal him. Same with Malachi Toney. Same with any other injured Miami or Ohio State players. Please protect them. Keep them safe. Thank you. Amen. Does Oregon have a chance? Oh, hell yeah, Oregon has a chance. Hell freaking yeah, Oregon has a chance. Now, the concern is, if this game confirms to you that you think the Big Ten is super overrated, if like that is your prerogative here, that the Big Ten is super, super duper overrated, Yeah, thank you guys for all your support. Appreciate it. If you guys all hit the like, Sam will dance. I will. If we get to 500 likes before the stream ends, I will dance. You have that on record. Yeah, I mean, so I remembered what I was saying. If your takeaway from this game is that the Big Ten is very overrated, Texas Tech might be better than Miami. So maybe then you might have some concerns. We don't know exactly if Ohio State's better than Oregon. I mean, power ratings say so, but they don't have a lot of common opponents and they play very differently. So, um, if your takeaway from this is that the Big Ten sucks and you're somehow right, then Oregon may not have a chance. Indiana may be live to lose tomorrow if that's the case. We'll see. Let me check out FanDuel real quick to look at like odds for the games tomorrow because we can talk about that while on this stream. Okay, national title odds. Ohio State's collapsed to plus 600. So they're currently behind Indiana, Georgia, and Miami in title odds. If you think Ohio State's going to win, it's now your time to like buy back into that. It just is. They've taken a lot of lines off for those semifinal games. Live line is still Miami minus 3.5, so they're still favored to win live by Vegas. Anything else that's really important? Oh, tomorrow. So Oregon's favored by 2.5. Indiana's favored by 7.5, even with a lot of like public bets coming in on Alabama. Georgia's favored by 6.5 over Ole Miss. We are back though. 2nd and 6 for Ohio State. Huge drive. I mean, if you give the ball back to Miami, they're probably going to choose some more clock. If you let Miami score a touchdown here and make it a 3-score game, that's going to be really hard to come back from. So they really need like a score here. Okay, Sayan, they found him over the middle. That would be Bennett Christian, I believe. Yes, Bennett Christian. 1st and 10 for Ohio State at the 41. So now, again, they're driving. I don't think Ohio State's going to go 3 and out for the rest of this game, by the way. There's just too few possessions. They aren't anti-clutch. They're just not perfect. So, like, them losing to Indiana wasn't because they aren't clutch. It's just because they're not a perfect team. So they're not always going to win in crunch time. But they're good. I mean, what I said at halftime where I was suspicious of picking Ohio State to lose, I kind of feel like, yeah, okay, Donaldson, they run him. They only get like a gain of 2. Going to be second a little bit longer now. But Miami has struggled a bit with RPO. They've struggled with some quick passes. They've also blown some of them up. But Ohio State's made some adjustments here. They are going to do some play action, little RPO stuff. They get it out to Innis. Innis gets hit hard. Picks up a 1st down, though. Gain of 9. And now everything from here on out's 4th down territory. Everything from here on out's 4th down territory because it's about to be the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's not even 10:15 yet. And Ohio State's using that play clock. But nice, like, little route by the sidelines there. Innis was open underneath the zone. He takes the yards after contact. Looks like Miami might try to ratchet up some pressure. Let's see. Bo Jackson has a nice run. Gain of about 4, maybe 5. This might be the final play of the 3rd quarter here. They're in Miami territory. They are putting together a nice drive. Both of these teams have not had a 3 and out yet. They are going to go deep for Smith, and Smith has it. Shannon Dawson's looking for like an OPI. You're not going to get that. That was clean. Both of them were fighting. Penalties haven't been called in this game. That was a clean catch. It was a good throw by Sayan. Good catch by Smith. What are they doing? Why did they stop the clock? Did someone call a timeout? I think Miami did call a timeout. That has to be what this is, right? That's weird. Or are they reviewing it? Interesting. And Ohio State and Miami are almost tied in EPA per play now. Basically, what's going on is Ohio State's having a really good second half, but they had a very bad first half. Okay, are they going to try to get one more playoff before the third quarter ends? I think they are going to try. Yup. And it's Jeremiah Smith, and Smith is only tackled for a gain of like 1, maybe 2. At the end of the third quarter, it's 17-7 Miami. Only 15 minutes left to determine who advances to the Fiesta Bowl and who goes home. It's been a hard-fought match by both of these teams. Thank you for deleting all of those spammy comments, by the way, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, if I had to update my prediction now, it's that Ohio State comes back and wins, is probably what I would think. We'll see, though. It's difficult, and Miami is still, I think, only 2.5 now. There are people hammering Ohio State here, but they're still favored. Just because, yeah, like it's a 10-point lead start of the fourth quarter. Miami still has TOP controlled, and they're still doing better on third down. Ohio State's close to eclipsing them by over 100 yards, and Sayan's played pretty well. He's averaging over 9 yards per attempt. The problem is, like, again, the bad initial half is the problem. Buckeye fans, Samu, who is your favorite team? It's actually Michigan. Michigan's my favorite team. I go to school there. After this semester, I will have graduated with a bachelor's in economics. That's my favorite team. Many people don't know this, which I take pride in because I don't want them to know my fandom. But, yeah. Wow. This is gonna this is gonna cause my heart to race, man, because it's a competitive game. Like, sure, Miami's ahead by 10, but Ohio State's they're right at the red zone. Right at the red zone. So I'm so nervous. So you're a Buckeye fan and Michigan is your second favorite team? That's interesting. Someone said I thought you was 40, dog. Well, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, crazy. I mean, I love Ryan Day. I said it earlier. Even if Miami wins this, I think Day's the better coach than Cristobal. They got the matchup like depanced Ohio State for a half, and they had to adjust to it. So far in that third quarter, they've done a pretty good job. But to be fair, I think a lot of that's just getting the initial momentum and getting out of the possible 3-and-out situation. Are they going to run it here? Certainly looks like it. It's well blocked, and Jackson gets down to the 16, so it's going to be third and very short. Like third and, they're going to rule it 15. I think, yeah, it's going to be third and 3. Nice run by Bo Jackson there. So it's third and 3. Start of the fourth quarter. Does Ohio State try to run the football again? They got Donaldson in there, so I'm kind of thinking so, but that might be a fake tell to try to get Miami to give up an easy passing touchdown. We'll see what happens. They are going to try to run it. Donaldson got he didn't get there, I don't think. It's going to be 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Yeah, 4th and 1, I believe. And Ohio State's going to go for it. They have to. Why are they panning and showing the fans, man? 4th and 2, they're going for it. Come on. Unless they're not, why are they... They got Bo Jackson back there. And they got Jeremiah Smith. There is a flag. There is a flag, but I imagine this is going to be a touchdown on that slant. It was a beautiful pass to Jeremiah Smith. Imagine it's touchdown Ohio State. And what a play by him, what a throw by Sayin. I imagine the flag's going to be PI on Miami. Yes, touchdown Ohio State. So 17-14 is what the score is going to be. Nice play call there by Day. Good enough protection there from Ohio State for Sayin to make a clean throw. And that was 10 plays, 75 yards, 433. Yeah, huge drive. Wow. So 2 good drives out of the half. Yeah, I agree. Ohio State's going to come back and win. Unless Miami can put together a touchdown drive here that's long, Ohio State's going to come back and win, I think. Miami somehow is still favored by the live betting. It's kind of crazy. Posting some more thoughts on Twitter. Yeah, momentum is shifting. I'm curious to see if Miami is able to take anything back or not. And yeah, Miami does need points. I mean, if not for Fielding's missed field goal, this is a 17-10 Ohio State game, and with how the game is going, we're looking at Ohio State like, okay, they're better. They've also almost matched Miami in TOP. 13:28 left in the fourth quarter, though. Let's see what happens. My bold prediction... Oh, we're very close. We're at 6 sacks. My bold prediction is that we'd have 8 total sacks, I believe, in the game. Energy's back on Ohio State's sideline. Miami's sideline kind of looks like they're dead. But that's not always an indicator of things. So let's see what Miami does. You basically have 13 and a half minutes left in the game. A game where you haven't dominated, but where you got out to a comfortable enough lead to where you're not out of it. Very far from out. Let's see what happens. Ohio State's defense has been very rested in this half. They've only given up 3 points. And okay, good. The TV froze for a minute, but then it unfroze. Are they going to try to run? No, it is a play action pass. And they did not call that PI. Interesting. Yeah, Beck was looking deep for number 7. Number 7 being CJ Daniels. I thought that maybe Sanchez PI'd him a bit. But they haven't been calling either way this whole game. You gotta do better. And he had Fletcher open for like a 5-yard gain. That feels very like almost desperate of Miami to take that shot there. Not very good for them. Beck is going to hand it off to Fletcher, and Fletcher gets tackled behind the backfield. This looks like it might be a quick 3 and out for Miami here. And with very minimal plays and minimal time, you'd expect Ohio State to drive right down the field and score again, making it a 21-3 run. Pretty crazy. It's going to be 3rd and 11. I do not expect Miami to convert this. I expect them to punt it. But I could be wrong. It looks like Ohio State's going to try to send pressure, whether 5 guys or 6 guys. They might back out of it. It might just be a sim pressure. They may only send 3 or 4. Something. They're going to send pressure. They do. Beck steps up. Beck has a lane. Beck is going to... Does he? He picked up the first down, I think. Yeah. He picked up the first down on his own with his legs. That's a massive conversion for Miami. Wow. Holy cow. Yeah, he got it. He got it. Yeah, he got it. There's nothing to review there. He got it. It isn't a backbreaker for OSU, though, because it's a 3-point game. They're going to try to run it with Fletcher. They do. Fletcher is able to power through initial contact from Igbinosun and Downs. Ohio State's really trying to stop the run here. It's only a gain of 1, so it's going to be 2nd and 9. $11:30 left in the game. Yeah, I don't know who's wearing... I think part of it is they're not spying Beck because they don't expect him to run. But he has picked up, like, reliable yardage for Miami. Now, this is an entertaining game. That's only really like a gain of 2. Yup, it's going to be 3rd and 7. So another 3rd and long, not 3rd and 11, but another 3rd and long. We're actually going to list it like 3rd and 6, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and 6. Ohio State with another opportunity to get off the field. I imagine they're going to get off the field here, but we'll see. Beck is checking the protection, maybe changing the play up. Looks like Ohio State, if they're going to send pressure, it's going to be 5. They do send 5. And it's an incomplete pass. And Miami's going to have to punt this ball away. So Ohio State gets the stop they needed. Now can they cash it in for a score with 10:24 left? And the odds for Miami to win have like totally collapsed. Just a little bit overthrown by Beck trying to get number 9, Elijah Lofton, but trying to also not throw a pick there. And that's a pretty bad punt. Yeah, that is a... Oh my. Yup. Ohio State's going to have it at their own 25. They only need 75 yards down the field to score a touchdown, and they only need probably like 50 to get in decent field goal range. So we're going to have a media timeout. Ohio State, 17-14 is the lead for Miami, but they have the ball. I would put their odds to win pretty high right now. They're now favored in live betting. And they have completely turned it around in this half, which is incredible. Oh. Yep, Ohio State's O-line is doing better. Another part of this too is that they're calling quick passes off RPO. It's another part of it too. And Miami's having a really tough time defending the RPO. It felt early like they weren't doing as much RPO, and a lot of it was just straight drop back. You can't do that with Ohio State's O-line against this D-line. You have to help it out. And RPO can help that out to freeze up the D-line and the backers, get them confused as to what's going on. And it's a really nice adjustment by Day. Let's see, though, if Ohio State can just quickly drive down the field again, which I kind of think they will, or if Miami's defense can come up with some type of adjustment to stop them. But make sure everyone to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, please, and thank you. Really appreciate all of your support. We're so close to 400 likes, guys. I'd love to get that. And yes, I am streaming tomorrow Oregon, Texas Tech, and also streaming Indiana, Alabama. Those are the only games, though. Not doing Georgia, Ole Miss. So Ohio State now has all the momentum, all of it. 10-17 left in the game. It's crunch time. They've been on a 14-3 scoring run, forcing a 3-and-out for Miami and scoring on all their drives since, how do I put this? Since halftime. Can they do this again for the third time in a row? I say yes, but you never know if they can or cannot. Christian getting a gain of 12 on a just dump off there. I mean, yeah, they're Ohio State's like literally changed this entire thing up since halftime. And now we're under 10 minutes. So this is crunch time for both teams. Ohio State might settle for a field goal if it's a 4th and long, but this is going to be aggressive. This is going to be, betting on your players to make the plays and asking them to do things that they may not be totally comfortable or confident doing, but they have to do it. So 1st and 10 from the 37. They are going to try to run this, and Donaldson has picked up a gain of 5. Like, Ohio State, if their backers can get past the D line, they've been doing a pretty good job running the football. At least good enough to keep them, honest. It's going to be 2nd and 6. 9 minutes left. Ohio State perfectly content winding this clock down. And Sayin takes a sack. That was the play Miami needed. That was number 31 for Miami. Number 31 being Wesley Besaint, the middle linebacker. So that's the 5th sack on Sayin today. Going to be 3rd and 15 for the Buckeyes. Let's see if they can pick this one up. They just, got right through, totally moved. Yeah, Bo Jackson can't pass pro the way that Judkins and Henderson can. That was not entirely on the O-line there. Maybe on the interior for a missed assignment or something. I couldn't tell. That was more on that was more from Miami than OSU. Miami, once again, they're going to try to get some pressure. And I think that Smith picked up the first down. Yes, he did. It's a wonderful 3rd down conversion attempt. They're very clutch by Sayin and Smith. And this drive is extended. Yeah, just got the necessary yards. It's a really beautiful throw, really beautiful catch. No, they haven't been calling anything. Miami's pass rush is still getting to Ohio State, is what I'm trying to say. Not as often, but they're still getting home. Sayin, back to pass. He is going to try to throw it deep, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Tate, just aimed it. 2nd and 10 with 7:26 left in the game. This is pretty intense, guys. This is it for both of these teams. Second and 10 from the Ohio State 48. It is another pass attempt full of slants, and there is a hold. I think they finally called holding. We'll see, though. It's probably, the line is acting like it's a hold. It's been, holding on Ohio State. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. And he almost got sacked, too. The pressure, Ohio State's O-line has improved a little bit, but a big part of this is their RPO, and they're now trying to do, drop-back pass because they're off schedule. And that's just messing them up. So it's another long down, 2nd and 20, and Cristobal saying, redo it. That's the first penalty of the game. Both teams have been handsy. They've been very physical. Not a lot of penalties called, though. It's 7 minutes left, 2nd and 20 at their own 48. Let's see what happens here. They are going to send a blitz. It is picked up, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tate. Tate just couldn't get to it. It's going to be 3rd and 20 with 6:47 left. Wow. Oh, see now, again, it's such a good game, man. Yeah, Tate needs to catch that, but I think it was a little, Sayin was a bit off his spot. Tate didn't complete the route. That was just a conundrum of issues. Another 3rd and long for Miami's defense. Can they get off the field? It looks like they might be pretty conservative here. Sayin is under duress. He is going to throw it to Donaldson, and Donaldson is going to be stopped. So it's 4th down. That was a big stop forced by Miami. And I can't imagine Ohio State is going to go for it here. I cannot imagine that. I just can't. It's you forced a 3 and out. It's very early. Still, you have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. You went away from what was working there. And you tried some different things because you got a little bit behind schedule and it just didn't work. McGuire's punt is going to be fielded. There is a flag, though. Malachi Toney has it at the 10. There's a flag. I don't know what the flag is. Let's see. .604 left in this game. Illegal formation, so Ohio State's going to have to punt this one again. My heart's racing, guys. It is racing. Oh, we broke 400. We're only 93 likes away, guys. 93 away from me doing a dance. I'll dance live if we hit 500 likes. So hit 500 likes, please. McGuire's once again going to punt it away. It's not as good of a punt. That was a net difference of 20 yards in field position. That's pretty huge. Not as good of a punt caused by the illegal formation. Yeah, 17-14 Miami with 5:56 left, and they have it at their own 30. Given a 73.5% chance to win this game, and they're favored again by live betting. Wow. Yep, they just got the ball back, and we're only 52 likes away. 52. 50 more until we do a dance. Regardless of who wins, because we don't have a rooting interest here. This channel does not have rooting interest. We just cover the game how it is. I still think Ohio State's going to come back. I'm going to put my trust in Ryan Day. I just am. Until the clock hits 0, Ohio State's winning, because I trust Day that much. What's going on here? Did I pause it? No, I didn't pause it. Screen's just black for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's black. The screen is. Hopefully I'm not, behind or anything major. Yeah, I mean, Sayan usually doesn't complete only 67% of his passes, and Miami just hit 5 sacks, 8 TFLs. They earned 1 sack and then an additional TFL there. So we're only 1 sack away from my bold prediction that we'd have 8 combined sacks being fulfilled. It says I'm still live. Again, don't know why that is. Okay, yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. Yup, 1st and 10, got it back just in time. Just in time. Only 26 likes away from me doing a dance. And when I will do the dance is at the next commercial break. That's when I will do the dance. So Miami, if you're the Canes, you want to get this to the 2-minute warning. Preferably, you want to get a touchdown here. But obviously, that may not be realistic since you only had 1 offensive touchdown. And you have not even hit 300 yards yet. So it's probably more realistic to just pick up a few first downs, burn some clock. They are going to run it with Fletcher. Fletcher as a whole, he's not gone, but he got out to the 49 of Miami, or maybe even of Ohio State, and picked up a big run. That was well blocked there. Really well blocked. That was just like halfback off tackle, I believe, or just off tackle. And they run it, they block it perfectly. Number 10, Malachi Tony, had a really key block to turn that from like a 3-yard gain into essentially the 14-yard gain that it was. Miami already with a first down here. First and 10 from the 49. They are going to hand it off again to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher's able to go forward for a gain of 4 to the Ohio State 47. Under 5 minutes left in the 4th, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like how it again, I picked Ohio State to cover and to never trail in the game, and they have never led for 55 minutes. That's crazy. Beck back to throw, evades some pressure, and is tackled at the 44 of Ohio State. That was nice of him to not take the sack, to pick up extra yards. You're now going to go under 4 minutes left in the game. I imagine this might be 2-down territory for Miami. We'll see about that, though. It's going to be under 4 minutes. Miami has at least a nice drive of their own where they don't go 3 and out after forcing Ohio State into a punt. Let's see what they do here. They're going to bring in Charmar Brown, so I imagine they're going to run. He's their power back. And Brown catches it and picks up a first down inside the 40 at the 39. So now Miami at least is going to get to the 2-minute warning, I imagine. Unless Ohio State calls timeouts before the 2-minute warning, which I don't really see I don't see too much of a use in. Like, Sharon Moore would always do that at Michigan. It would always irritate me. It's like, why in the hell are you doing that? Like, why? You're calling him, like, so early. Charmar Brown finds a hole. Brown gets down to the 25 and picks up a first down. I mean, Miami is now well within field goal range. They're driving. Wow. This has been an impressive drive for Miami because it's showing, like, that they can, like, teams can't run against Ohio State. Like, they're running as well as IU did. And IU, efficiency and metrics-wise, is at a way better rushing attack than Miami. Charmar Brown tries to get through the hole, picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards. And this is going to go to the 2-minute warning. Yeah, picks up a yard. So Miami, you got it down to the 2-minute warning. I think that was the goal of the drive at least. And you're in, like, scoring range. You've broken 250 yards. You've broken 30 minutes of possession. Ohio State's ran 57 plays, and you have ran 58, so you have more plays than they do. You have not given up a TFL here. You've made your field goal. They have not. And you're 6 of 13 on third down. And Beck's getting himself drafted off of this game. Like, what he's been able to do is been incredible. Only 8 likes away from making me dance live on camera, which I suck at dancing. So this will be entertaining for everyone who wants to make fun of me. But let's get to the super chat from Blase XP. Impressed by Canes. Were they this good all year? What's DST mean too, Blase? I'll respond to that. What does DST mean? Maybe I'm, like, so uneducated about football that I don't know. No. We hit 500, so now I have to dance. Canes were this good on the line of scrimmage all year. Beck in no way was this good all year. Beck hasn't played like this since Notre Dame. That's the last time really Beck played this good, I would say, was Notre Dame. This is Beck's, adjusting for opponent faced, probably his best game of the year. But on lines of scrimmage, they were always this good, and then Corey Heatherman's had a pretty good game too. Like, Miami could not defend RPO. They couldn't get OSU off the field, and they get 2 sacks in that last drive due to Miami, like, sending some coordinated linebacker blitzes. And Ohio State, like, having to rely on their running backs to pass pro, and they can't. And that's what really did it. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Now, I got to dance for everyone. So, this is going to be awkward. It's going to suck. I'm just going to do... I don't know what dances there are. There's always this that we used to do or that I used to do in high school, because I'm like a 99% if not 100% white kid who can't dance. I know it's a stereotype and not real, but I feel it, so I'll embrace it. I could do something cringe like a Fortnite dance. I could try to snap because I suck at it. And do something like this, just look like I'm a total idiot. I could do the gritty, or I could do my favorite one that Emeka Ibuka does, or that really Ohio State does with touchdown or first down celebrations, is you do or something like that when they get the first down. There you guys go. You got your dance. You got your dance. You can make fun of me. You know what you can do? You can make fun of me for my dance and not for Ohio State not covering. Oh my gosh, dude, Miami is getting push. Wow. They gained an additional 5 or 4 yards off push there. And Ohio State calls their first timeout. All the white kids love the Fortnite dances. I hate them. I used to play the game because I wanted to engage with people, but I never fell in love with it. I've always been a World of Tanks NCAA guy, which is a weird combo. It's total nerd, total jock or wannabe jock. Pissed off Ohio. Dude, you guys could still win. You can score in one play. I know it hasn't happened in this game, but it's possible. But yeah, Miami, if nothing else, Miami has shown in this game that they can match Ohio State's physicality. And that's cracked. That's kind of crazy, honestly. Because, I knew Miami was physical. I knew it. I knew that Miami was physical and that they were probably more physical on the lines of scrimmage. But they've looked like the more physical team overall. On every position. I wonder if Miami's going to run it or if they're going to try to pass here. They are going to try to pass, and they are... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. What? Are you kidding me? They got it. They got it. And Ohio State looks as defeated as can possibly be, and I don't blame them. Yup, we're going to see Twitter meltdown because Cristobal's now going to, This is so toxic. Oh my gosh. This is so cancerous. Wow. Wow. Welp. Ohio State is one timeout. They've shown no ability to get a TFL. And Miami will at least be able to waste a minute 30. And Ohio... Guys, stop it. Stop. Excuse me there. Stop saying Ohio State's trash. Stop it. This shows that... this shows Miami's good. This is what this shows, that Miami's good. I will argue after this game, personally, again, they're getting push. They just got they got 2 full yards of push. They got 2 full yards of push there. 2, or maybe it was just 1. I think it might have just been 1. But Miami is going to work that clock down. they might be able to. Ohio State may only have like they're only going to have like 10 seconds with the ball back. And Miami just scored a touchdown. That's it. That's over. That's over. That's over. Well, Miami won the Cotton Bowl. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute moron. And the defense to score. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Welp. Wow. Well, this makes okay. You know, dude, they didn't even try to stop him. They didn't even try to stop him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. You know what, guys? You know what? This okay. Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, we are going to have a lot to talk about this game. We are going to have so many conversations about this game because I thought Ohio State was going to win. Not that they were going to control this thing. Well, it turns out that basically everything that the biased Miami fan said was going to happen happened. And what that means is something your team, the losing team, did was really stupid. Like, really bad. And you can say this makes you more confident in Alabama. I'm not confident in Alabama. Like, Miami at least had matchup edges against OSU, and they exploited them today. There's no matchup edge Alabama has over Indiana. If Indiana loses, it's going to be in the quarterfinals or the Natty. I'm pretty convinced about that. Wow. Well, Sayin can try to score quickly, but I imagine this thing is kind of over. Yep, Sayin tries, Tate can't hold on to. Yeah, this is done. It's over. It's so over. So over. Oh my gosh. So toxic. There's just wow. Wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oof. I'm not like mad that Ohio State lost, by the way, because I'm partisan, try to be as partisan as possible. I'm mad that I went off picking Miami to cover when I picked him to cover and was pretty confident in it, and then I went off of it. That's what I'm mad at. Oh, Sayin gets hit as he throws and picked off. Well, Miami won the turnover battle and the pressure battle. Yup, this game's over. This game is over. Over. Okay. Wow. Yeah, Ohio State fell apart after Miami picked up some of those first downs because they got their manhood totally taken away. Like Miami basically on that final drive cut their balls off. There's just nothing left. Yeah, that's it. That's over. That is over. Wow. Oof. Well, okay, the game's over, guys. We're not going to do a live reaction because I want to like actually formulate takeaways and make a quality video. We're just going to make a quick 5-10 minute video. Should be up in like 20-25 minutes. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you again for coming on, for giving me super chats, all that different stuff. And thank you, Chuck, for your $5 super chat, rewarding me for dancing. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great night.